Between periods, keeping you up to date on the NHL regular season games.
And I'll have some insights on the Soviet style of play.
After the first period, we're going to discuss the future of Soviet NHL relations with League President John Ziegler.
Up next, face-off between the Central Red Army and the New York Islanders, a Sports Channel exclusive.
If it's happening, I'm there, okay? Foreign films, answering machine for my car phone, okay? Hey, it's goat cheese or no cheese. My beer, so hip, with a twist.
When you're done kidding around, Heineken.
Check me out. All my plastic, gold. You know, I live in the city, but my clothes say safari. My imported beer. Ooh, the bigger the better, mate.
Like we said, when you're done kidding around, Heineken.
It learned to run in the Black Forest of Germany. But unlike others, it also learned to be nice to people. Scorpio, the German sedan that's comfortable without forgetting what it learned in the forest. Scorpio, German performance you can be comfortable with.
Now get $2,000 customer cash on 1988 Scorpio from Lincoln Mercury.
Surprise. Here's the tickets for your honeymoon.
Oh, Dad, you shouldn't have.
And we're going with you.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Northwest frequent flyers earn free trips fast, so you can give them away or go away or both.
My mom's going to Tokyo on business. Tokyo, where's that? About 1,000,000 miles away. Well, she better bring a sweater.
Every day, Northwest flies from more of the U.S. to more of Asia than any other airline.
Want inside information on football?
I've been reading the sporting news for 12 years now, and when it comes to inside information, this is the next best thing to a coach's meeting. The sporting news, more football facts and stats than any other sports weekly.
Call 1-800-453-1905 and get 50 issues of the sporting news for 4 easy payments of just $7.47. Call now 1-800-453-1905. That's 1-800-453-1905.
Well, we see the New York Islanders coming from their dressing room. Coach Al Arbor will be starting veteran goaltender Bill Smith in this superpower game against the Soviet Union and Central Red Army. Bill Smith has faced them before. That, of course, goes back to the 1976 series in which my broadcast partner Ed Westfall participated.
As a matter of fact, Glenn Resch played that game, Jiggs, and it was Billy Smith that played in the 79 game. The Islanders are 0-2, but 2 tremendous hockey games. One against the Central Red Army team. That's who's coming out onto the ice now. Powerful hockey team. It's interesting that, I'd say about 11. Was it yours? 15 players on this team were at the Calgary Olympics, not necessarily played in them, or they did play.
Or they played in another. Three that played and were part of the gold medal championship team, of course, are on the Riga team that is traveling out west right now.
Yeah, Dynamo Riga. They tied and lost. Tied the Calgary Flames, lost to the Edmonton Oilers last game.
There's a young man we talked about at the beginning of the game. Very outspoken. He may be typical of the new youth, I suppose, behind the Iron Curtain in the Soviet Union. Valery Kamensky, 22 years of age. We mentioned that he first really made a name for himself in the World Junior Championships at Hamilton, Ontario in 1985. And then at the Rendezvous Series, after a so-so season in the Soviet Union with Central Red Army, he came over and was brilliant, was one of the all-stars in that 3-game Rendezvous Series.
He's in his second year with the Red Army team. There he is, King of the Hill, yes.
Nice red uniform, very similar colors except for the blue patches to the team that he would like to be playing for, the New Jersey Devils.
24, he was the youngest captain in the national team. He was originally drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in '78, and then, of course, the New Jersey Devils in '83. Montreal couldn't sign him. 12 years, with the Central Red Army team. He is considered the Paul Coffey and the Ray Bork of this Red Army team and the national team.
And there he is, Viktor Tikhonov. He is considered the master of hockey now in the Soviet Union. Tarasov, the great Anatoly Tarasov, handled the chores for so many years. But for the past 10 years, that man has been the coach of the national team and, of course, of Central Red Army. Now let's join public address announcer Rich Kahn for the introduction of these two teams.
Goaltender Sergei Golashumov. Number 2, defenseman Vyacheslav Fetisov. Number 5, defenseman Alexei Gusarov. Number 6, defenseman Alexei Kasatonov. Number 7, defenseman Vladimir Malikov. Number 8, center Igor Larionov. Number 9, left wing Vladimir Krutov. Number 10, left wing Valery Zelopukhin. Number 11, left wing Evgeny Davidov. Number 13, left wing Valery Kamyensky. Number 15, right wing Andrei Homotov. Number 16, defenseman Vladimir Konstantinov. Number 19, center Vyacheslav Bykov. Number 21, defenseman Igor Stelnov. Number 24, right wing and captain Sergei Makarov. Number 25, defenseman Ilya Byakin. Number 26, center Alexander Chernik. Number 27, center Pavel Kostyukin. And number 22, center Sergei Niemchinov. And the head coach of the Central Red Army is Viktor Tikhonov. And now for the New York Islanders, number 30, goaltender Kelly Rudy. Number 31, goaltender Bill Smith. Number 3, defenseman Thomas Johnson. Number 4, defenseman Gerald Diduck. Number 7, left wing Greg Gilbert. Number 8, defenseman Jeff Norton. Number 11, left wing Randy Wood. Number 12, left wing Rich Crom. Number 16, center Pat LaFontaine. Number 17, right wing Brad Delgarno. Number 21, center and captain Brent Sutter. Number 24, right wing Mikko Makala. Number 25, right wing David Volek. Number 26, right wing Patrick Flatley. Number 27, left wing Derek King. Number 35, defenseman Reed Larson. Number 36, defenseman Gary Nyland. Number 39, defenseman Mark Bergevin. Number 40, center Ramo Helmanen. And number 47, Rich Pilon. The head coach of the Islanders, Al Arbour. Joining Al behind the bench this evening are assistant coach Rick Wilson and Brian Trottier. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you all to please rise. Join along with Mr. Joe Dewar, Ben Steele at the organ, in the singing of the national anthems of the Soviet Union and the United States of America.
Союзный России, Республик свободных, флотилла навек. Великая Русь, да здравствует созданной волей народа, единый могучий Советский Союз. Славься честь, наша свободнее, дружбы народа, но дразни i Bears jeg vidjot. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, the two teams have been introduced. Normally, there is an exchange, and that now takes place at the center ice area. Sergei Makarov and the Islander captain Brent Sutter exchanging the traditional gifts. Handshake with the officials on the part of Makarov. And you see Brian Trottier over at the Islander bench, not dressed for tonight's game. We do have a wireless microphone on Brian, and we'll be hearing from him at the bench from time to time throughout the contest. We're just checking the mic.
Perfect about Merck's bringing me the tape.
So it does work. The Soviet Union will start their big line, the KLM line, and they start Sergei Milnikov in goal tonight. Milnikov played the entire series at the Olympics. He was in goal for the tie at Quebec with a 4.61 goals against average. He's 30 years of age, 5'10", and 176 pounds. You see the huddle forming around the Central Red Army goal, and down at the other end of the ice, the Islanders will be starting 38-year-old veteran Bill Smith. All the numbers on Smith, of course, over the years. He has played that one game against Central Red Army here in 1979. That was the Superpower 80 series, as it was called then. And as Eddie pointed out, we expect to see Smith and Rudy share the net-minding duties tonight.
There's your kick in the ass, Gibby.
That's all it takes. Get him kick-started, Brian.
Jump start. Get going. Make a good start.
Harry Fraser will referee tonight's game. Gord Brosiker and Kevin Collins are the two linesmen. Kevin Collins lined up right in front of the Soviet bench. Kind of an interesting sight when you think back to the Canada Cup Series in 1987. When it was all over, Victor Tikhonov, the coach, pushed linesman Kevin Collins. Was not happy with the outcome, of course. There was some report following that Tikhonov would be relieved of his duties with the national team, but not so.
They also talked of relieving him of his duties with the national team after the 1980 Olympics. That didn't happen either when the United States won the gold medal.
The Soviets in the red uniforms. Makarov out with Krutov and Larionov. The puck played into the Islander zone. Brent Sutter trying to come up the left wing boards, and Krutov reached behind, knocked it down, no hand pass. And Kasatonov trying to come in off the left side. Knocked away from him. Fetisov has teamed up with a different defense mate. Normally, it would be Kasatonov. Tonight, it's Konstantinov. And Konstantinov has teamed with Fetisov in the game at Quebec City on Monday night. And David Volek plays it off the boards to Sutter into center ice for Flatley. Flatley trying to get it around Larry Ernoff. The puck played across to the right side for Nyland on the Islander defense. Moves in deep, centers one off, Sutter skates. And Sutter gets to it again. Dumps it to the corner for Volek. Volek brings it back to the Soviets line. Knocked away from him. And David Volek takes his man down. Gusarov was moving in when Volek hooked him up, and there will be a penalty here to Volek. The Soviets, who had 2 power play goals in the game against the Quebec Nordiques, get the first man advantage in this contest.
A breakaway. Again, a close call. I think the linesman made the call, stealing the puck and racing down the ice. Alexei Guzarov, you could see pulled down. Nyland was coming quickly. I suppose that's the only reason there was not a penalty shot. David Volek makes a mistake at his own at the blue line of the Red Army team. Handled the puck just once too often, stolen. And now the Islanders are really going to be tested. Power plays by the Soviet Union teams have always been awesome. The Islanders' penalty killing has not been that good this season. They're ranked 19th in the NHL. Power play of the Soviet Union. They had 2 power play goals on 5 opportunities against Quebec. The Soviets come in forechecking. Bikov playing it back to Kasatonov. To Bikov, fires one that was steered wide on a deflection, held in at the left point. Gusarov waits. Plays it in a little deeper. Kamensky with a shot that's blocked. It comes back to the right point. Kasatonov to Homatov. Homatov in the right circle. Plays it in a little deeper. Bikov tried to center one that was broken up and cleared off the glass and down the ice. What a good play by Nyland. He anticipated a pass, got one off his stick and was able to clear it. Homatov takes a hit from Pilon as he dumped it in, and the Islanders are going to be 2 men short. Rich Pilon. You cannot play dumb hockey against the Soviets. The given is that they're good. You give them a 2-man advantage and they'll be very good. A break in the action. 17:58 remaining in the first period. There is no score.
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
For the Soviets, a 2-man advantage, 1 minute and 5 seconds. As Pilon goes off for roughing. Volek already sitting out a hooking penalty. Larry Arnott, Krutov, and Makarov out for the Soviets, testing Bill Smith. Now Fetisov plays it back to the far side. Konstantinov got it right back to him, to Larry Arnott, to Fetisov. Into Larry Arnott in front of the net. They feed it back to Konstantinov, and his shot is blocked and held by Bill Smith.
Billy Smith will be hanging on at every opportunity he can get a hold of the puck. Soviets moving it around the outside. So far, the Islanders, while they're backed in close to Smith, they're not giving away the ice directly in front of the goal. Here's the passing of the Soviets. They handle the puck so well. Look at the deflection. Bill Smith doing a good job of anticipating the play, taking the puck, holding on. And Larry Arnott moves in on the faceoff against Pat LaFontaine. Soviets get the draw. That's Krutov with it, number 9. Feeds it back to the blue line. Playing the left side is Kasatonov now, teamed up with Fetisov. And the pass went astray in the Islanders zone, and Brent Sutter slaps it off the boards and down the ice. Number 6, Kasatonov. Back of the net. Makarov moves up the left side. The pass goes to the right side. This is Krutov over the line. Krutov wearing the face shield tonight, protecting an injury picked up in the game at Quebec. Krutov walks right in, shoots, Smith makes the save. Krutov with it back of the net. Now the net comes off and play called with 4 seconds left and David Volek's hooking penalty. Good job so far by the Islanders. One thing for sure that the Soviets will not do. They'll not take a shot from a bad angle, but give Krutov a chance here. He comes in, tries to put it through the 5-hole. You could see where he was trying to put it between the knees of Bill Smith. The Islanders using discipline, holding their positions. You could see Thomas Johnson. He was tempted to go behind the net and chase after Krutov, but he didn't. He went back to the side. Now Sutter takes the face-off, wins the draw for the Islanders, giving it to Diddick, and he shot it down the ice. Volek is released from the penalty box. 52 seconds left in Pilon's roughing penalty. There is no score. We're in the first period at the Nassau Coliseum. Makarov relaying the puck into the Islanders zone. It plays it to the corner. There's Brent Sutter. Slaps it off the boards. Away from Kasatonov at the left point. Johnson moves into forecheck as Milnikov plays it around behind the net. Vyacheslav Fetisov left it for Larry Arnott. A Mike Bossy look-alike. Now Krutov over the line. Makarov moves in on the right wing side as Larry Arnott holds the puck. Back to Fetisov, fires through a screen, deflected wide, and Brent Sutter takes over.
Sutter plays the puck to center out of the reach of Johnson. Central Red Army with 10 seconds remaining in the power play, and they have difficulty handling it in their own end of the ice. Beekoff takes it behind the net. And the penalty to Pilon has expired, so the Islanders kill off 1 minute and 5 seconds. And the two-man Soviet advantage, and now the Soviets are called for having iced the puck.
Big boost for the Islanders, killing off a two-man disadvantage. Early in the game, they only allowed 3 shots to the Soviets in the two-man advantage. It's a good job. That can give any kind of a team a lift, although it hasn't done that so much for the Islanders in the past. Maybe it will here. They know that they can't make too many mistakes. They made a couple. Volek mishandling a puck, taking a penalty in reprisal, and then Pilon, a roughing penalty. The Islanders have suffered through it.
Chernik taking the face-off for the Soviets. Raimo Helminen for the Islanders. They faced one another at the Olympics, of course. Helminen joining the Islanders following that, and there will be another penalty call coming up against the New York Islanders. Davidoff gets to the puck. Makela ties him up. Chernik takes it out of the corner. Alexander Chernik unable to center, and as it went to Helminen, play is called, and the Soviets get one more power play opportunity. There is no score between the Islanders and Central Red Army.
They are the elite teams of the Soviet League, Central Red Army and Dynamo Riga. They're coming to North America to challenge the Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, New York Islanders, and more. East meets West in this clash of hockey titans. Saturday afternoon, they call him the Bobby Orr of the Soviet Union. Vyacheslav Fetisov and the Central Red Army clash with the Boston Bruins in the Superpower Face-Off. Live at 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, exclusively on Sports Channel, Saturday.
Jeff Norton gets a tripping penalty. He had the right idea. He just got the wrong part of the Soviet player. Here, the Soviets coming through. There, you see, it's like he got a hip into him, but he actually got his right leg out, tripping him up, taking him down, getting a penalty. So the second, or actually the third power play in a row, if you count the two-man short situation. The Islanders just fought off as 2.
Now a couple of 84 Olympians out on the ice killing off the penalty for the Islanders. LaFontaine and Flatley. Pilon and Diddick together on defense into the Islanders zone. Davidoff with the pass across to the right side. Went back to the blue line. Volkov played it to the corner. Comes right back to him. Here's Chernik parked on the right wing boards. To number 7, Volkov. Volkov threw a screen. That shot went wide of the net. Pilon tapped at it. It came loose in front, and Davidoff fired one wide. Diddick plays it around the boards. Held in at the left point. Stilnoff played it to the corner. Got it right back from Chernik. And now the play called, and again the Islander goal is off the moorings.
Stick laying beside the net. The left post off this time. The right post the last time.
Both teams get the opportunity to make a player change. The Islanders sending out Helminen and Makela as you look at Brian Trache back at the bench.
That'll work, Gang. That'll work, you two.
Again, I remind you we have a wireless mic at the Islander bench. And it's Al Arbor that you heard talking toward Brian Trache's microphone. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in Dorton's tripping penalty. The Soviets starting out of their own zone with a pass to right wing. This is Beekoff. Vyacheslav Beekoff gets it in front of the net and shot it wide as Smith came out trying to knock it away from him. The Soviets hold it in. Gusarov from the blue line, and his shot went high and wide. Kasatonov covering the right point, deflects the puck onto the stick of Helminen. Raimo Helminen moving in on Gusarov, got around him, and the backhander is blocked. Milnikov making his first stop of the game. And here comes Kamensky across the Islander line with a drop pass. Quick shot off the stick of Homatov, and Smith makes the save, and the Islanders clear it out. Time remaining, and the penalty to Norton ticking down in the top of your screen. No score. A little less than 14 minutes to go in the opening period. Kamensky comes down right wing. Enters the puck back to Beekoff. Beekoff using Kasatonov at the blue line. Got it right back again. Sets it up once more for Kasatonov. Over to the far side. Gusarov shot. Pad saved by Smith. The rebound in the goal mouth and blocked. And a hard hit thrown by Bergevin. Homatov went to the deck. The Islanders fished the puck out of there but can't clear the zone. Beekoff with it on left wing. Gets it back to the blue line. Gusarov fakes once, let one go off Norton's skates as the Islanders have killed off that penalty. And out comes Johnson. Up the left side to Brent Sutter. Calling for it on the right wing is Delgarno, and he could not get a stick on it. Larson holding it in for Sutter. Sutter centers it back. Johnson with a shot. Off some skates in front of the net. And Milnikov is able to clear it up the left side. The Soviet goaltender doing the job, and now back for it is Kasatona. Play opens up a little bit. The Soviets come over center ice. Into the Islanders zone. It's Makarov. Backhanded one off the side of the net. And Makarov got hit solidly by Nyland as the Islanders take the body on Central Red Army. Fetisov starting out of his own zone. Over center into the Islanders zone. Trying to knife through the defense. Now plays it back. Makarov can't get a shot away as Randy Wood checked him tightly. Brad Delgarno knocks his man down, and the puck comes out to center ice. Fetisov gives it to Krutov. Back into Fetisov.
Pretty good tempo in the game right now. The Islanders have been hitting. They've been hitting well. That seems to get them more involved.
Now Larry Ernoff into the Islanders zone. Dropped it back. Turning with the puck was Krutov. To Fetisov, and his shot is wide of Bill Smith. Konstantinov back out on the far side of the Soviets' defense has played it around the boards, but Makala is there for the Islanders. He gave it to Bergevin and then got it right back. Makala cross-ice pass to Gilbert. Dumps it into the Central Red Army zone. Makala goes in after it. There's going to be a penalty call on the play.
Larionov cross-checking or high-sticking.
Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series exclusively on Sports Channel.
Busiest guy in the hockey game so far, outside of the referee, Kerry Fraser, has been Bill Smith. There's a shot that he kicks it to the right. It bounced off his own leg. He comes up with the puck for a moment, then it's blasted short off Bergevin. Here's the penalty. The high-sticking penalty. Could be high-sticking. Could be cross-checking to Larionov. So the Islanders go to the power play. 8-1 the shots on goal favoring the Soviets, but 7 of the 8 shots they've had have been with a man advantage. The one shot the Islanders have had, a fine scoring opportunity by Remo Helminen. He walked in all alone.
Helminen is out now on the power play, getting the draw back to Larson. Janssen covering the right point into Makula. Makula being watched by Kamensky. Got the puck right back from Helminen. Feeds Janssen at the point to Makula. Turns on right wing. He shoots off the goaltender Milnikov. The Soviets fail to clear it out. Here's Janssen into Mikko Makula to Helminen. Back to Makula. To Janssen. Right back to Makula to Janssen. The Swedish player takes a look. Gives it to Larson. Larson pulls to the right side. Lets one fly. It was blocked. Comes right back to Janssen. Thomas Janssen feeds Reed Larson for the drive. Milnikov the save, and the rebound comes back to Larson as again Central Red Army failed to clear it out. Matt LaFontaine gives the puck to Helminen. Back to Janssen at the blue line. Thomas Janssen lets it go. Milnikov the save. Loose puck. And Kamensky is able to clear it high in the air and down the ice.
Milnikov makes a good save. He takes the rebound, bangs it straight out about 25 feet, but it was cleared by one of his defensemen.
Larson got the puck to Janssen. Now to King, who comes over the Soviet line. King around Kasatona. Center. Volek shot is blocked. Milnikov without a stick. David Volek checked in the corner. The puck goes to Derek King. Can't play it through the traffic, however. And Diakin starts down the right side. Diakin, Omatov moving in. The play broken up in the Islanders zone, and it's Didick. 30 seconds remaining in the power play as he gave it to Brent Sutter. Out to center to King, now to Volek. Off his stick at the Soviet blue line. And Alexei Kasatonov plays it back deeper into his own zone. Usarov to Bikov here on the right side. Bikov puts it in the Islander territory, and the Soviets change up as Didick goes back with the puck.
In the game against Quebec, the Soviets were able to score 2 power play goals. They also had a short-handed goal in that hockey game.
Now Fetisov with the puck, and the Islander power play has expired. Larry Erdoff out of the box after that high sticking penalty. We're midway through the opening period. There is no score at the Nassau Coliseum. Here's Fetisov. Shoots one from the line. That's grabbed and dropped by Smith. Wicked shot off the stick of Vyacheslav Fetisov. He and Konstantinov together again on the Soviets' defense. Several years ago, they experimented breaking up that defense pairing, and it didn't work too well. Now Zelopyukin into the Islander zone, and a quick shot off Bill Smith. Ends up back to the net. Matt LaFontaine plays it around the boards. Konstantinov holds it in at the left point. Dumps it into the corner. Davidoff trying to center. LaFontaine all over him. Davidoff comes off the boards. Right-handed shot, lets one go. It hit his teammate Chernik and comes out over the line. They neatly play it back to Fetisov. Very seldom do they give the puck away.
Handled it so well, Jig. They kept the Islanders pretty well at even strength in their own end of the ice as Bill Smith grabs the puck from Davidoff.
We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series exclusively on Sports Channel.
Who really blacked out the Knicks and the Rangers? Madison Square Garden wants to keep you in the dark. The Garden wants to charge all cable viewers to see its teams, even people who don't like the Knicks and Rangers. And now the Garden is spending $500 million for rights to the Yankees, and they want everyone to pay for that too. At Cablevision, we think the choice should be yours, not Madison Square Garden's.
Well, in our fan poll tonight, Sports Channel would like to know how you feel. Would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas? Yes, call 1-900-300-6311. If you'd like to see the arenas remain the same, the number below that, 6312, there is a 75-cent charge for each call, a portion of which will go towards the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund. The final tabulation will come at the end of the game and on Sports Nightly, following this contest between the Islanders and the Central Red Army.
8-4 right now. I should say 11-4, the shots on goal. The Islanders had 3 power play shots a moment ago.
A breaking pass from Makarov over his stick. Bill Smith out of the net, plays it around the boards. Mark Bergevin for the Islanders has given it to Greg Gilbert. Comes to center, shot it wide to Vildikov. In after it is Makala. Feeds it back. There's Didick with a drive. Grabbed outside the goalpost and held by Sergei Milnikov.
Fine hustle by the Islanders. Makala, good second effort. Gets it back to Gerald Didick. Didick shot a little high. The Russian team, Soviets I should say, watch here. They get things mixed up. At the blue line, finally it cleared out into center ice. Chernik grabbing the puck, playing it back to Fetisov, trying to control the puck. Even the Soviets sometimes get misguided and fall down.
No score, just a little more than 8 minutes to play in the opening period. Second game for Central Red Army on this 14-game swing. They'll play 7. Dynamo Riga will also play 7. Larry Ernoff into the Islander zone. His shot blocked by Smith. And there is no further play. Krutov went to the front of the net, but no rebound coming.
Since 1948, Red Army team have won 31 Soviet championships. Just a powerful team. You know, to the point where people are not watching them in the Soviet Union. They're just so strong. They win so often. Get a good look at Larionov, Igor Larionov. 7 years now with the Red Army team. Last year was his highest scoring total. He had 51 points, 25 of them goals. That's in regular season play. The other thing about the Soviet National League, if you want to call it that, is that they don't play that. They have like 48 or 50 games during the regular season.
The Central Red Army team leading at the break. They play it in 2 portions in the Soviet Union. And this is their midway point of the year. They start in September. I think their league started September 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. In the meantime, Randy Wood dumps the puck into the Soviet zone. Chasing is Nemchinov. He's checked behind the net. The puck goes loose. Wood can't get to it in time. And Gusarov plays it out of the zone to Davidoff. He's bumped solidly by Rich Crom, and the fans react to that hit. Randy Wood trying to break up a Soviet rush. Succeeded. Now the puck played down into the Islanders zone. Bikov chasing it. Bergevin was able to get it to Crom, and he's cleared the zone. Center ice, Thomas Janssen got it into the Soviet territory. It's brought back by Kamensky. Kamensky with a long shot just wide of Smith. Beekhoff cannot handle the rebound. Patrick Flatley for the Islanders to Sutter. It's knocked away from him. Reed Larson moved it out of the zone, and the Soviets bring it right back in again. And a dipsy doodle there. Homatov drops it back to Beekhoff. His shot kicked out by Smith. Smith handles the rebound as Kamensky was pretty well covered, and down the right side goes Volley. His pass across, broken up by Konstantinov from the Soviet defense. And right back into the Islander zone. Here's Larson. His pass to David Volek. Volek gets checked. Homatov from the right wing takes a look. Feeds it back to Konstantinov. His long shot blocked by Smith. And Kamensky was upended as he went through the goal mouth looking for the loose puck. Now Beekhoff takes it off the boards. Beekhoff checked from behind as Larson took him to the ice. Beekhoff back on his skates, jabbing the puck loose. Kamensky tied up in the boards. Now goes to Beekhoff. Beekhoff centers. Konstantinov too well covered, and out comes David Volek for the Islanders. Working on Fetisov as he moves in over the line. Fetisov knocks it off his stick. It goes high in the air over Sutter's head. But it's picked up by Volek. The shot blocked in front of the Soviets' goal. A little less than 6 minutes to go in the opening period. Fetisov into the Islanders' zone along the right wing boards. Waits for the rest of his teammates to arrive and then turns the puck over. Gerald Diddick lifts one high and it goes over the glass and up into the seats. There is no score between the Islanders and the Central Red Army team here at the Nassau Coliseum.
This is Chunky Chips Ahoy, the new chocolate chunk cookie. We're talking serious chocolate. New Chunky Chips Ahoy, with chocolate chips so big they're really chunks. We're talking serious chocolate. Chunky Chips Ahoy, a chocolate taste so satisfying, with luscious chocolate chips so big they're really chunks. We're talking serious chocolate. We're talking new Chunky Chips Ahoy.
Evgeny Davidov, number 11 here, thought he was going to lay a lick on Richard Crom. Guess what? Crom knocks him down. Randy Wood comes in to give a little help. Heavy hitting, sticks her down. 15 shots for the Soviets. They had something like 20 shots in their last game against the Quebec Nordiques in a 65-minute hockey game.
Now Derek King out for the Islanders with Delgarno and LaFontaine on the wings. Chernik at center for the Soviets. Davidoff and Zelepukin also out there for the Central Red Army team. Bergevin held it in at the left point. Dumps one back to the net away from Stelnoff. The Islanders try to get to it again. Brad Delgarno took the man. The Islanders unable to pick up the puck, however. And Alexander Chernik comes over center ice into the Islanders zone with a drop pass. Couldn't get it back again. It goes off Diddick, off Smith as well, and cleared up the right wing boards for Delgarno. Back on the play is Gusarov. Gusarov pulling to the right side. He's into the Islanders zone. The veteran defenseman left the puck. Picking it up here on right wing is Davidoff. Taken to the boards by Mark Bergevin. The puck goes loose. Davidoff went to the ice on the pursuing play. In the meantime, Makela can't get it out of his own zone. Zelepukin put it back to the net. Bergevin flips one high, goes over the glass, and on into the seats. So play stopped with 4.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Let's hear what's going on at the Islander bench, if we may.
Well, Brian speaking. We're just not hearing right now.
Maybe he's turned it off.
Yeah, they may. Since 1956, we were talking about before the hockey game, 15 of these players you're seeing for the Red Army team have played on the Olympic team, or will play on the next, well, not necessarily on the next one, but played on the 88 at Calgary. And since 1956, only twice has the Soviet Union not won the gold medal. 1960 and 1980. 60 in Squaw Valley, and of course 1980. Mike Eruzione, our co-host for tonight, was there and scored the winning goal.
And of course, Ken Morrow with the Islanders was part of that team, not dressed for tonight's game. Soviets starting out of their own territory. Kasatonov played it to the right side. Makarov trying to get it to Larry Arnoff, who was not in position at the time, and the Soviets forced the Islanders back into their own territory. Jeff Norton played for the U.S. Olympic team of 1988. To Pilon, up to Helminen, to the right side to Makela. Into the Soviet zone, his pass across, broken up. Kicked ahead to the stick by Vladimir Kruta. Got it to the blue line. The Islanders put it back in offside. We have 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the opening period. There is no score between the Islanders and Central Red Army.
It learned to run in the Black Forest of Germany. But unlike others, it also learned to be nice to people. Scorpio, the German sedan that's comfortable without forgetting what it learned in the forest. Scorpio, German performance you can be comfortable with.
Now get $2,000 customer cash on 1988 Scorpio from Lincoln Mercury.
No score so far. 3:35 remaining. Another face-off coming up. Islanders have been doing a good job. One thing they've been very good at so far is playing in their own end of the ice. Very disciplined, not making the kinds of mistakes that we've seen the Islanders make in the past. Some good scoring opportunities. Bill Smith, having faced 15 shots, probably a third of those were real testers.
Now Thomas Johnson moving the puck out of his own zone. Randy Wood was checked at center ice. Oh, the Islanders go back. Bergevin and Nyland together on defense. Megan Larson and Nyland, excuse me. Larson on the right, Nyland on the left. The puck loose for Wood. Gives it to Rich Crom. Crom over the Soviet line. Unable to move it to Larson in time. Crom was taken into the boards heavily. In the meantime, Davidoff checked right at the Islander blue line. The puck loose. Konstantinov moves in after it. The defenseman is knocked down deep in the Islanders zone. Kept the puck in play, however. Referee Kerry Fraser backing away. Stoshnikin trying to put it in front. Could not. And here's Nyland playing it around the boards. Randy Wood goes after it. Nemchadov took Wood into the boards, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. An elbowing call indicated by referee Kerry Fraser. So as he goes to the penalty box, we remind you that our question of the night is, would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas? The number's on your screen for a yes vote or a no vote. There is a 75-cent charge. A portion of all proceeds will go towards the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund, and we'll have the final tabulation of your vote. It's up to you, the fans, to tell us whether you'd like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas or leave them the way they are.
Take a look for the elbow here. Ooh, yes. Konstantinov gets the elbow up. The Islanders get their second power play. They had 3 shots on goal the first power play they had. What they can do here. Of course, an explosive penalty killing unit generally for the Soviets. They skate and handle the puck well. They're actually offensive when they're a man short.
Bikov drops it back into the center ice zone, and the Soviets take it all the way back into their own territory. There is no score. New York Islanders with a man advantage here. Konstantinov off for elbowing. Diddick and Norton together on defense. Flatley, Volek, and Sutter, the Islander forward line. And Norton is checked right in the center ice area by Homatov. To Stelnov. And slaps it in around the board. Bill Smith, who's been outstanding in this first period, left it for Brent Sutter. Homatov forechecking, knocked Diddick down. The Soviets held it in at the blue line. Patrick Flatley knocked it away from Homatov. Got it to Volek. Now to Flatley. 1 minute to go in this man advantage as he dumps it into the left wing corner. Brent Sutter in after it. Sutter going back to the net. Left it for Volek. Flatley parked in front. It goes back to Johnson for a drive through a screen. It was blocked. And the Central Red Army squad brings it out into center ice. Here is Makarov into the Islander territory. Turned and played it back neatly. Bikov can't get through the defense, or Byakin rather. And it's Norton with it back in the Islander net. Jeff Norton lead pass to LaFontaine. Got a step on Kasatonov. Comes in, was tripped up from behind as he went to put it by the goaltender and could not. Now Makala centers one that's blocked at the defense. Makala plays it around the boards off Helmanen's stick. Less than a minute to go in the opening period. And the Soviets with a breaking pass to Makarov. Coming in on Smith. He scores! Sergei Makarov with a shorthanded goal. 19:15 of the opening period, and the Soviet Central Red Army team leads 1-0.
Makarov, 10 years in a row, he's been an all-star here. Talked about the Soviet team, they're aggressive, killing penalties. The pass right on the stick, away races over the right shoulder of Billy Smith. 1-0 hockey game, a shorthanded goal. Beautiful shot. Here's the play setting up. He put himself in the right position, took the pass, held Bill Smith, and then fired over his right shoulder. 1-0 hockey game. His second goal against the National Hockey League. He had one the other night against Quebec. Makarov makes it 1-0. Krutov assisting. Actually, it was more of a dump-out play. He was clearing it, but you have to know that they set that up.
Pretty to watch, wasn't it? Makarov from Krutov at 19:15, and now the penalty to Konstantinov has expired. And we have 32 seconds remaining in the opening period at the Nassau Coliseum. Delgarno puts one right across in front of the Soviet goal. Up solidly is Larry Ernoff, and the puck comes to center ice. Konstantinov into the Islander zone. Centers the puck. Broken up by Barry King to Brad Delgarno. Delgarno gets double-teamed as he played it away from Fetisov. Back is Chernik for the Soviets. Cleared the zone with it. Diddick played it to the right side to King. A cross-ice pass to LaFontaine, trying to cut in around Fetisov. Spilled into the goal mouth, and time runs out. That's the end of the opening period. LaFontaine got up looking, thinking there might have been a penalty call against Fetisov. None coming, however. Milnikov tested 3 or 4 times in that opening period. Twice LaFontaine broke in late in the period, but couldn't put the puck by him. And the only goal comes with 45 seconds left in the first period when Makarov scored. So it's 1-0. The Soviets leading at the end of the first period. The officials are huddled with Viktor Tikhonov, and the man who was last talking with referee Kerry Fraser is their interpreter.
Had a stopwatch in his pocket. He was keeping the official time, he figures, and there might have been a little more time.
But that's the end of the first period here at the Coliseum. Central Red Army leading by a score of 1-0, and they outshot the New York Islanders by a margin of 12. 17 shots for Central Red Army, 5 for the Islanders. And the only goal comes with Konstantinov serving an elbowing penalty. A shorthanded goal for Sergei Makarov. Krutov's assist at 19:15, and it's 1-0. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders. Now let's go to our Sports Channel studios. We check in with Mike Eruzione and Lee Seidman.
Thanks, Jiggs. Coming up between periods, NHL President John Ziegler joins us to discuss the future of Soviet-NHL relations.
And we'll update tonight's NHL regular season games. Sports Nightly after this break.
It's not here, or here, or here. No, Japan's car of the year is only at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer, and it's priced lower than the competition. The 89 Galant from Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. Astronomers tell us there won't be a total eclipse in America until the year 2017. But there is a place where you can observe one right now.
In the beginning, the Whiz was a dream. We had a small store and some big ideas, and a man whose principles were our inspiration. We always deal honestly with our customers. We guarantee the lowest prices and the highest quality. We demand perfection in our stores, of our salespeople, and our products. Integrity, customer satisfaction, excellence. It's why we can say nobody beats the Whiz.
At last the dinner was all done. The cloth was cleared, the hearth swept, and the fire made up. Apples and oranges were put upon the table, and a shovel full of chestnuts on the fire. Then all the Cratchit family drew round the hearth, and at Bob Cratchit's elbow stood the family display of glass. These held the hot stuff from the jug, and Bob served it out with beaming looks, while the chestnuts on the fire.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly Studios. Lee Zeidman along with Mike Ruzioni. The Superpower Face-Off Series became a reality only after years of negotiations between the NHL and Soviet sports authorities. Standing by at Nassau Coliseum, NHL President John Ziegler, who recently returned from the Soviet Union. Mr. Ziegler, thank you for taking time to join us. I know that you are over there arranging the next Superpower Face-Off Series as well as a tour of NHL teams in the next preseason. Can you fill us in on that trip?
Well, next September is going to be rather historic. For the first time ever, 2 National Hockey League teams will be visiting the Soviet Union and playing a total of 8 games. We think 4 in Moscow and 4 in Leningrad. And as I say, it's the first ever, and it'll be the first time the hockey fans in the Soviet Union will get to see the National Hockey League teams playing the kind of hockey that we're very proud of.
John, have you decided yet on which teams will go over, and how will you decide which teams do go over?
Well, we have an international committee, Mike, and we'll be meeting within the next 2 weeks. We promised the Soviets and we promised our teams that we'd try to make a decision within the next 3 weeks, hopefully no later than the end of January. We discussed with the Soviets the teams that they would be interested in. We have to review with our own teams their own exhibition schedule because this is going to take place in September, and we have to make sure that we're not going to cause any tremendous unbalance into the commitments that some of the teams already have in place.
We have a lot of talk, John, about Soviet players coming over. There's also been discussion of perhaps a Soviet team coming over for a season of competition within the league. That's just speculation? Is it a possibility?
I don't know where in the world that came from. It has never been raised in any discussion we've ever had, at least that I participated in, with any of the officials in the Soviet Union. And that's got to come from perhaps one of those orbiting satellites up there or something. It's never been raised by the Soviets and certainly never been raised by us.
Well, then let's move on to the individual players. Several of the Soviet stars from the Central Red Army Club have been very outspoken on this trip about their desire to play in the NHL and the fact that they don't understand why they aren't here yet. What's your feeling?
Well, I certainly can't explain why they're not here, but Alan Eagleson and I, for over 16 years, have been encouraging, pleading, trying to persuade our counterparts in the Soviet Union, the sports ministry, to permit their players to come over and play within National Hockey League teams whom have drafted them. My understanding with respect to player Fetisov, that he's received all the permissions from the sports committee to his team, to the Central Red Army team, to the national team, to the Olympic team. And the one handicap there, as I understand it, is that he's a major in the Soviet Army. And that's a matter of dealing with the Minister of Defense, and that's probably a matter of national defense policy, of what you do with officers in your armies. Just because you're a great hockey player doesn't necessarily mean that you can be freed of your commitment to the military.
Okay, Mr. Ziegler, we thank you for your time. We're going to take a break and we'll continue with our coverage of the Superpower Face-Off Series after this.
Introducing a completely different Mercury Cougar.
Take my breath away.
Introducing pulse quickening comfort. The all-new Cougar from Mercury, where comfort and control are one.
I want something round and crisp and buttery tasting. A taste so good, nothing can take its place. It's not just anyone, it's the only one that just won't miss. When I want a cracker, I want a Ritz. That special taste always hits the spot. No other cracker has got what it's got. When I want a cracker, I want a Ritz.
Here, help!
Isn't this romantic?
Throughout the Superpower Face-Off series, we're asking fans' opinions on issues relating to the Soviets. As you know, NHL rinks are significantly smaller than those used for international play in the Soviet Union. Tonight's fans call, would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of its rinks? If you vote yes, dial 1-900-300-6311. No, dial 1-900-300-6312. Dial carefully. Each call costs 75 cents. Some proceeds from the calls will go to the Armenian earthquake relief, and final tabulations will come after the game on Sports Nightly. Last night's fans call, 70% of you voted yes to seeing Soviets playing in the National Hockey League. We're going to update tonight's regular season NHL games. We've got 5 games of the NHL tonight. A grudge match in the Patrick division with the Flyers taking on the Penguins. Right now in the second period, 3-1. Philadelphia leads the Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins are unbeaten in their last 8 games. Mario Lemieux will try to rally his club. Boston and New Jersey meeting for the first time since they collided in the semifinals last season. 2-1. The Bruins leading New Jersey at the Meadowlands. Toronto and Quebec 3-2, an Adams Division versus Norris Division game, and the Nordique Trail, they won the last 3 meetings from the Maple Leafs. Montreal and Calgary matching the 2 top teams in the league. A 9:35 start at the Olympic Saddledome. The Flames are unbeaten this season, and Vancouver playing Los Angeles, a 10:35 start. That's the news. We're going to switch back to the Coliseum for period 2 after this.
You got your loan, too?
Sure. Metrofund's approving everybody.
Metrofund approved my loan just like that. That's fast.
They didn't even need my social security number. That's easy.
That's fast.
It's easy.
It's fast.
It's easy.
It's fast.
It's easy.
It's fast.
Homeowners, what those 2 characters said is true. If you've been turned down anywhere else, if you've had any of these problems, you're okay at Metrofund, where loans are fast and easy. For a free personal consultation, call 1-800-543-LEND.
Who really blacked out the Knicks and the Rangers? Madison Square Garden wants to keep you in the dark. The Garden wants to charge all cable viewers to see its teams, even people who don't like the Knicks and Rangers. And now the Garden is spending $500 million for rights to the Yankees, and they want everyone to pay for that too. At Cablevision, we think the choice should be yours, not Madison Square Garden's.
The National Hockey League is speed, action, and excitement. And you've got a front row seat to this next exciting matchup. Saturday night, celebrate New Year's Eve NHL style. Top Gun Mike Gartner leads the charge of the Capitals against Supercenter Pat LaFontaine and the Islanders. It's Washington versus the New York Islanders in a New Year's Eve spectacular. Live at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Sports Channel, Saturday night.
Central Red Army leads the New York Islanders 1-0 after 1 period of play. Let's go back to Sports Channel's Ed Westfall at Nassau Coliseum. Ed?
Thank you, Lee. Pretty good first period. The Islanders spent a lot of time in their own end of the ice, but they did a good job. Bill Smith was outstanding. 15 shots he faced in the first period. The only goal we talked about, and I had mentioned that the Soviets are very dangerous when they're a man short. They have good skaters, good puck handlers, and that was the problem the Islanders ran into for the 1-0 score. Let's go to the highlights and take a look at what happened. There's the pass, a beauty. Krutov passes it to Makarov, and he races down the ice. Thomas Johnson striding, trying to reach him, pulls it to the forehand, puts it under the crossbar. Beautiful goal. Makarov, who scored against Quebec the other night. Let's take another look at what happened. Where did things break down for the Islanders? They're on a power play. You wonder, how could they not cover? Let's take a look at why they weren't covering well. Well, over in the corner, you can just see Thomas Johnson to the right, and that's Reed Larson. Here's the dangerous man. Larson is watching the puck in there instead of course, Makarov. As the puck comes up the boards, it's dumped into the center ice by Krutov there, and it's a set play. Dennis Potvin, you'll remember for years, along with Butch Goring, pulled that off. And here he comes racing in once again. Makarov, an all-star for 10 straight years, makes it 1-0. It's 1-0 here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. We're getting ready for the second period. You're watching the NHL Soviet Series on Sports Channel.
Ask every American the meaning of success, and you won't hear the same answer twice. Whatever your idea of succeeding, Citicorp and Citibank can help. With Citibank MasterCard and Visa cards, Citicorp Savings, Diners Club, and Citicorp Mortgage. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
You can't get hipper than moi. Health club, can you tell? Mousse in my hair. Tanning salon every Thursday. Whatever kind of food I'm eating, that's the kind of beer I'm drinking. Comprendo?
When you're done kidding around, Heineken.
Oh, designer sweats, remote control, everything. VP at 28. Whoa. My imported beer, whatever's in this week.
Like we said, when you're done kidding around, Heineken.
Hi, I'm Glenn Anderson of the Edmonton Oilers with reason number 9 to enjoy NHL hockey. Goal scoring.
A Dika shot and a goal. He streaks in and scores. You score! Score! Let's see. Rebound. A shot and goal.
Get the action reaction. Watch NHL hockey.
Jiggs McDonald and Ed Westfall at the Nassau Coliseum. Central Red Army 1, the New York Islanders no score at the end of 1.
Travel arranged through Northwest Airlines, which proudly introduces the most comfortable plane to the Orient, the state-of-the-art 747-400. Northwest, the most experienced airline across the Pacific.
Well, Central Red Army just coming back on the ice for the start of the second period here at the Nassau Coliseum. They outshot the Islanders 17-5 in that period. Think back to Monday night in Quebec City. They had only 20 shots on goal for the entire 65 minutes and scored 5 times. The Islanders not without their chances in that first period.
Definitely had the scoring chances. Pat LaFontaine had a couple of them. Here, Jeff Norton comes up with a puck. Beautiful pass to LaFontaine. He breaks through the middle, but he gets pulled from behind by Alexei Kasatonov. Couldn't get the backhand going. Slides back. No penalty on the play. Good hook by Kasatonov. Then the next time it was Derek King with the puck just inside the blue line. There's the pass. Fetisov this time hooks up Pat LaFontaine, spins him around, sends him into the goaltender. Milnikov, no penalty. Good scoring chance taken away from the Islanders' Pat LaFontaine.
Here this morning at practice, the Soviets were in the trading booth. I guess probably the best recipient of the entire morning had to be Barry Meisel of the New York Daily News. He had some hockey sticks. The only ones that the Soviets were interested in were the Sherwood brand. Apparently they can't get good Sherwood sticks back home.
They'd all have to be left-handed shots, too. There are probably only 3 right-handed shots on the whole team.
He was trading, especially with the KLM line. He's got an autograph stick from each member of the KLM line now. And, of course, Lariona, a big friend and fan of Mike Bossy's, and Igor made sure that Barry Meisel especially got his stick, because yesterday Barry brought an autographed copy of that book, Boss, that he co-wrote with Mike Bossy. The other thing he was telling me, Eddie, was that the Soviets are interested in tennis balls. They'll trade anything for a can of tennis balls or cologne.
Yeah, I can understand over the years that the cologne would be a necessity. Larionov is also probably the most outspoken member of the Red Army team. Talks about his coach Tikhonov. Says Tikhonov on an Olympic year locks us up for 10 months. Regular season, it's only 8 months.
And there is Igor Larionov playing the puck into the Islanders zone. Smith out of the net, played it around the corner boards. Vladimir Krutov got to it, couldn't hold it in, and Brent Sutter comes to center, giving it to David Volek. Volek checked at the line. The Islanders to win offside. 25 seconds into the second period. You take a look at the Soviet bench, and almost every time we show you the coach. Well, that is the translator there. That's Vladimir, whose last name I can't begin to mention, and the man in the blue suit. Anybody recognize that man? That's the Soviet Union's answer to Gordie Howe. And he was an outstanding player. That's Boris Mikhailov. He continues to lead all Soviet goal scorers in hockey history in the Soviet Union. The assistant coach of the Central Red Army team. Ariernov bringing the puck out. Krutov moving up with him as they come into the Islanders zone. The pass to the defenseman, Kasatonov. Plays it behind the net. Ends up here in the near corner. They center it out in front. Larry Erdoff playing it back to the blue line. A shot through a screen. His block comes loose, and Bakula slams it off the boards and down the ice. The Islanders will be called for having iced the puck here as Fetisov goes back for it. 58 seconds into this second period. I mean, you played against him.
Yes, I did. In 1976, he was here, along with Alexander Yakashev, teammate of Yakashev's. Yakashev was the coach of the team that he played on.
Boris is 44 years of age now. He scored 427 goals in 572 games for the Soviet Union's teams. He started his career with Lokomotiv and then went to Central Red Army. #1 all-time goal scorer.
A couple of the names of the teams in the Soviet National League: Tractor, Lokomotiv.
Now into the center ice zone. The Soviets controlling the puck. Kamensky comes over the line on left wing, or right wing rather. The shot is cleared aside by Smith. LaFontaine got it to the line, picks it up again, feeds it to Derek King. King over the line, working on Kasatonov to LaFontaine. He shoots, he scores!
He had 2 opportunities in the first period. He gets one here. Derek King set him up for one of them in the first period. He was hooked from behind by Alexei Kasatonov. The second time he was hooked from behind by Vladislav Fetisov. And here, watch King in front of the same player that hooked him, Kasatonov. There's the pass. Beautiful as he goes to the backhand. Crashes over the goalie stick of Milnikov. Pat LaFontaine has tied the score at 1-1. Good play here by Derek King to get the pass to LaFontaine. Letting his stick drag a little bit. LaFontaine falling over it. Milnikov spreads out, but it was in vain.
Those who follow Soviet hockey on a regular basis will tell you that Kasatonov is not the same defenseman when he is not playing with Fetisov. Kasatonov was the only man back. LaFontaine scores from Derek King at 1:27 of the second period.
You think back to the last time Pat LaFontaine played against international teams and the Soviet Union. He had 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in the '84 Olympics.
There's a delayed penalty call coming against the Soviets. Bill Smith was knocked down in the goal mouth. And as the Soviets get control of the puck, an interference penalty signaled by referee Kerry Fraser. Score tied. The Islanders 1, Central Red Army 1.
Hey, Slugger, what's happening?
I'm out of here, Dad, and I'm going as far as this $3 and 42 cents will take me.
Northwest has some of the lowest fares around, but not that low. While other airlines have prohibited smoking on flights under 2 hours, Northwest is the only U.S. airline to make every flight in North America smoke-free.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Northwest, Northwest!
Koschekin gets an interference penalty. Bill Smith's involved here. Smith goes down, crash. Koschekin goes to the penalty box. The Islanders get their 3rd power play of the hockey game. They've had 3 shots on goal, the first 2. They had 3 on one, none on the other. Get a chance here. They just tied the score. Pat LaFontaine scoring.
Chernik is waved out of the face-off area. Zelepukin will take the draw. The Islanders have a power play alignment of King on left wing, Volek on right wing, Brent Sutter at center ice. Johnson has just given the puck to Brent Sutter. Reed Larson, as he came over center ice, shot it into the Red Army zone. It comes around the boards into the skates of Brent Sutter. Knocked away from him. Zelepukin puts it down into the Islanders zone. Smith out of the net, leaving it for Larson. Now to Johnson. Chernik started into forecheck, then turns back. 3 Soviets give back as King comes over the line with a pass to Volek. Breaks in from a backhander. That goes high and up into the seats.
Fetisov just got to the puck, Jigs, just as the backhand was coming off of Volek. Islanders doing a good job isolating one of the defensemen. Fetisov using his long reach. Here they are coming out of their own end on the power play. Derek King skating and handling the puck very well. There's his pass to Volek. Volek went to the forehand, then backhand. Fetisov gets his stick out, deflects it up over the glass. And a good passing play here as the Islanders get in close. They've been finding holes in the defenses of the Soviet Red Army team. Continue to press a little bit. Maybe the holes will open up. Now LaFontaine on the face-off. Larionov got the draw. Yakin plays it around the boards, but Diddick knocks it down. Dumps it toward the Soviet goal. Central Red Army up with it, and Kasatonov shoots it down the ice. 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining in the penalty against the Soviets. Gerald Diddick giving the puck to Mikko Makala over center ice. Makala to the Soviet blue line, played it through Krutov's skates, got to it again. It's tied up along the boards. Yakin knocks it loose. Kasatonov takes it in the right wing corner, plays one off the boards and down the ice. It rolls toward Bill Smith. The Islanders set up in their own zone now with 45 seconds remaining in the power play. Jeff Norton with the pass up the middle, missed LaFontaine, then he got it right back as Yakin turned it over. LaFontaine cuts in, it's knocked down, and there will be a penalty call against the Soviets. They'll be 2 men short for the next 35 seconds as LaFontaine is ridden to the ice. Milnikov still stretched out along the goal line. LaFontaine talking to him. Milnikov may have been shaken up on that collision.
He's still down on the ice. They're not paying any attention. The only one paying attention is Pat LaFontaine, who ran into him. Milnikov getting up slowly. He's on his knees. They must know him. They must know something about him. No one is caring. Here comes Pat LaFontaine. Look at him put his left leg out. Hold off the check on rushing Yakin. He held him long enough, but then he lost his balance as he tried to get the shot away. You can see the leg of the goaltender, Milnikov, Sergei Milnikov, fell down on his left leg. You can see he reaches back now as if he had hurt his back. Nobody cares. That's a little unusual from what we're used to seeing. Usually a player falls down in an NHL game today, and trainers and players and everything are to them like bees to honey. Make sure you're okay.
Now the Soviets 2 men short for 35 seconds, barring any further penalties. Fetisov handling the puck in the center ice zone, handling it well as he dumps it into the Islanders zone. Took a hit from Reed Larson on the play, and we watch Johnson start with it. Comes over center ice, across the Soviet blue line with a drop pass to King. Tried to center one to Brent Sutter that was tipped, and Sutter can't continue the play. Fetisov brings it into center ice. Peikoff gets checked as he took the puck, and here's Sutter. Gives it to David Volek on the left side. Pulls up on Stelnov. Volek dropping it back. Larson moves it over to Johnson. Back to Reed Larson. Now only a one-man advantage. Johnson with a pass to Larson. One times it. Blocked in front. Peikoff is able to get it up to the right side, and Koshikin puts it into the center ice zone. It's Larson going back. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the Islander power play attempt. Stelnov covering the play at the Soviet line. Turned it over at center. Here's Makala coming in. Makala's shot blocked by Stelnov. Loose puck. LaFontaine centers, and Milnikov sliding out. Gets some help at the defense and blocks the puck.
Pat LaFontaine was trying to get it to Raimo Helminen, who is standing along the left side to the left of the goaltender. The Islanders with a good scoring opportunity. Mikko Makala gets things generated as he comes across the blue line, makes the play to Pat LaFontaine. Should say it was off a rebound, excuse me. There's the puck to LaFontaine. He tries to relay it to Raimo Helminen. He's checked out of the play by Boyka. .55 seconds now remaining as Milnikov grabs the face-off and holds on. LaFontaine having quite a few words with Kerry Fraser. Of course, Pat gestures, and his words are generally in a milder manner, so he can get the attention of Fraser and hold it. Fraser now talking to him back. If you're harsh, the referees won't pay any attention.
From the face-off, Diddick's shot is turned aside by Milnikov, and the Soviets shoot it down the ice. LaFontaine, Helminen, and Makala on the ice, and the Islanders with 2 Finns, 2 Americans on their power play alignment. Normally they have Johnson on the power play, who's Swedish, and the Islanders have just iced the puck. 34 seconds remaining in the power play opportunity.
And of course the Canadian in Billy Smith.
And another one in Gerald Diddick, setting up their entire power play alignment. 1-1 is the score. Makarov scored at 19:15 of the opening period for Central Red Army. Pat LaFontaine responded 1 minute and 27 seconds into the second period. Makarov's goal, by the way, a shorthanded goal.
More and more the
North American and Soviet teams getting to play each other, not just in the cup matches, Canada Cup, the Olympic Games, World Championships, but regular season styled hockey games. John Ziegler talking between periods about that. Interesting that only one Soviet player ever played in the National Hockey League. He only played 3 games. He played for the Los Angeles Kings, Viktor Nakachev, in 1982. Played for the Los Angeles Kings, and the only goal he scored in 3 games was against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Some of the fans here at the hockey game enjoying this game. It's a 1-1 tie, 14-47. Quite a contingent of Ranger fans giving the Islanders a big boost as the Islanders were being introduced prior to the hockey game. All the
There they
fans,
are.
there they go.
They've enjoyed themselves tonight. They've even participated in some 1940 chants that we heard going around the building. But they've come to have fun. Of course, the Soviets not playing the Rangers on this particular tour. They're out to support the Islanders here tonight. Nice gesture. Makarov knocking the puck loose at center ice. Came back to Kasatonov. He gets checked and breaking in as King. Over to LaFontaine. He shoots over and saved by Milnikov. Stacked the pads as he went to the left side, and now the puck brought in offside at the Soviet blue line. 1-1 is your score. LaFontaine tying it up for the Islanders as there is a break in the action.
Experience the completely redesigned Mercury Cougar. Call for your free Cougar preview kit. You'll discover all that's new about Cougar. To get your road test report, competitive comparison guide, Cougar technical glossary, 24-page full-color brochure, and more, call 1-800-446-1989 today.
Derek King is learning in a hurry who to give the puck to. Look at here, fighting off a couple of checks, hands it across the ice. Guess who's there? Pat LaFontaine, probably the best save of the hockey game. Sergei Milnikov off a shot by Pat LaFontaine. Second period shots, the Islanders have had 5, the Soviets 2.
1-1 is your score for the Islanders. Crom out with Wood and Janssen. Janssen playing left wing just now. Diddick and Bergevin together on defense as Janssen takes the puck from Crom, comes over the line, left it for Crom, and his shot blocked at the defense. Delnov down to block that, and he's slow to get up again. Soviets set up in their own territory. Long cross-ice pass for Chernik. Chernik comes over the line, moving in on the Islander net, centers one across, and it was steered wide off the stick of Davidov. Now back of the goal, Crom battling for it. Jabbing away is Zelepukin. The puck comes loose. Played in around behind the net by Zelepukin. Bergevin takes the man. Diddick controlling the puck here in the near side. Lays it out to center ice. Fetisov comes back. Fetisov, who has a teacher's degree, a 25-year contract with the Army. Moves it to the right side, and they dump it in. The KLM line trying to come out and attack for the Soviets. Here's Fetisov at the blue line. Homatov takes the puck up the right wing into the Islanders zone. Homatov pulls up, shoots, Smith the save, and the rebound ends up on top of the net. Batted there by Kamensky. So we're going to face off in the New York Islanders zone.
Take a look at the Sports Channel out of town scoreboard. See what's going on. Quebec trailing Toronto 2-1 in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs under their new coach, George Armstrong. Philadelphia lead Pittsburgh 3-1. We know that Mario Lemieux has his 38th goal in that hockey game. They're in the second period. Boston leading the New Jersey Devils 2-1. A second period score. Brent Sutter ready to take the face-off for the Islanders. He'd like to put one in for the Islanders so they can take a 2-1 lead. It's still tied at 1 apiece.
Soviets making a change in this forward line. Larry Ernov is out on the ice. There will be a penalty call coming up against the Soviets as Volek gets the puck to the left side for Pilon. Plays it into the Islanders zone off the glass at the bench. So play is called and the Islanders go to the power play. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series on Sports Channel.
At North General, we get more than 1,000 patients every day. The National Executive Service Corps made it possible for our staff and management to develop a quality hospital for this medically underserved area. Volunteer consultants from the NESC helped turn around this facility.
The National Executive Service Corps, helping nonprofits help people. For experience consultation, call 212-529-6660.
Without the National Executive Service Corps, there would be no North General Hospital.
Valerie Kamensky gets the penalty. Watch on the right side of your screen on the replay. You'll see the stick come out on David Bollock. There's Bollock. There's the stick as it cracks across the hips and right arm of David Bollock. And the Islanders, their 5th straight power play coming up. They're 0 for 4. They've had 6 shots. Billy Smith, as we had mentioned, takes half the game with 12:54 remaining. Kelly Rudy gets a few warm-up shots as the Islanders change goaltenders.
It gives us an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the Central Red Army team. A couple of their regular players not on the trip. One of them, the name that's familiar, I'm sure, to a lot of fans, Mikhail Vasilyev. He is sick, apparently. Belashekhin, who is normally their number 1 goaltender and sometimes number 2, is out with knee surgery. But they have so many young players, a half a dozen of which are at the World Junior Championships in Fairbanks, Alaska. 19-year-old Sergei Fedorov, 17-year-old Pavel Bure, and you're going to be hearing an awful lot of that name, I'm told. Bure, they say, is better than Gretzky. 19-year-old Alexander Mogilny, who played on the gold medal team at Calgary, is also at the World Championship, as is 19-year-old Igor Milakin. They have a lot of youth on their national team. As you pointed out earlier, they'll start them at 16, 17 years of age, and they're a couple of young-looking faces. Remember when we first used to see the Soviets come over?
Veterans, all veterans. Now they're moving along. Well, in games like this, I think now they've organized their talents such that they can make up a lot of good hockey teams with a lot of balance. I'm just wondering, I was thinking about that the other day. They still, after 32 and 33, the players, you don't see them anymore. They seem to be younger by average age, as the NHL is.
30 years of age, the oldest. Oh, Bekoff broke up the Islander play, comes in on Kelly Rudy, and scores! The second Soviet goal, the same as the first, short-handed. Kamensky is in the penalty box. Bekoff steals the puck at center ice, goes in all alone. The goal will be scored at 7:27.
Billy Smith gave up 1 goal on 20 shots. Unfortunately for Kelly Rudy, Thomas Johnson tries to stick handle at the blue line. He loses the puck. Quickly stolen by Bekoff. Down the ice he races. Watch between the pads of Kelly Rudy. He sees the hole. He puts it through. Just through. Kelly Rudy was trying to slam the door, but the puck got through before he could close it. 2-1 now. The Red Army over the Islanders.
Here's Derek King breaking in. Can't get around the defensive work. David Volek picks up the puck that it's knocked away from him. Obatov has a break into the Islanders zone. Coming in, a backhander. Rudy, a sliding save. Bekoff takes the puck, centers it in front, and now a penalty call.
Islanders are going to be 2 men short once again as the Soviet Red Army team try to open the game up. Reed Larson draws the penalty. The Soviets break away again. Homutov gets the chance here. The Islanders again misplay the puck. It bounces into center ice, and away races Andrei Homutov. There, tripped up from behind by Reed Larson. He still gets the backhand away. Good stop by Kelly Rudy as he maintains his balance. We look again at the breakaway by Andrei Homutov. The trip up by Reed Larson. And the Islanders will be 2 men short for at least 1 minute and 12 seconds. That's the time remaining on the first penalty.
Now, each team is a man short.
Excuse me, I'm getting excited. Each team now, Larson, 2 short-handed goals for the Soviets. Larson is in the penalty box after tripping up and on-rushing Andrei Homutov.
Kamensky sitting out a slashing penalty. He was in the box when Bekoff scored that shorthanded goal. So the Soviets with 2 shorthanded goals and a 2-1 lead on the New York Islanders. Jeff Norton to Makela. The pass relayed to Helminen. Comes over the line looking for Makela. Centered one that was blocked at the defense as Gusarov went down to break up the play. Soviets come to center ice. Into the Islanders zone, cutting to right wing. Niemchov taken to the boards by Pilon and hit hard on the play. Fans react to that. 35 seconds left in Kamensky's penalty time. Norton slowly to Pilon, plays it back to Norton. Norton moves it up the right side to Makula. Goes cross ice to Pilon. The Soviets in the middle of a player change, and Pilon has dumped it in from his own side of center ice, so that'll be an icing call. Now 18 seconds in Kamensky's penalty.
Guess it's easy to confuse me. I keep thinking that the Soviets are on a power play each time they're a man short because they're getting breakaway after breakaway. Saw the Gusarov a moment ago breaking up a 2-on-1 play. Here, Richard Pilon using his strength. He's very strong. The Soviet, Yemchinov, takes a tremendous hit from Richard Pilon. Notice the sticks have been down in this hockey game. The puck is down in this hockey game.
LaFontaine facing off. Larry Arnoff is asked to leave the face-off circle by linesman Kevin Collins. Makarov comes in to take the draw now. LaFontaine pulled the puck away from him, giving it to Gary Nyland. Around to Didick. Didick clears it out into the center ice area. The Soviets drop back quickly. Larry Arnoff playing it into his own zone for Fetisov. The right side, Larry Arnoff comes to center ice to Makarov. Now it is a power play opportunity for the Soviets as Kamensky is out of the penalty box. He goes to the Soviet players bench. Here's Larry Arnoff for the pass back to Fetisov. Shoots one. Redirected in front of the net. They bang at it. Rudy Down has made the save and held the puck.
Fetisov's drive from the point. Low and hard. Standing in front of him, Makarov. Take a look. There's the pass as it goes across to Fetisov. Coming from Larry Arnoff. Watch in front of the net. The puck bounces. He lets it fly. It deflects a couple of times. There, standing in front, the puck trickles out in front of him so he can get a swat at it. Kelly Rudy makes the save off Sergei Makarov. Puck seems to be under his pad momentarily, and the whistle blown by Kelly Fraser. Makarov gets up, taps Kelly Rudy on the pad, saying, next time.
The Soviets play the puck outside the Islander blue line. Konstantinov had a little trouble handling it. Now back into his own zone. Number 16 gives it to Fetisov. Makarov turning, going to the right side, takes the pass. Into the Islander zone. He pulls up, takes a look, moves it back. Konstantinov into the corner for Larry Arnoff. Larry Arnoff centers one in front. Rudy, a sliding save. Good stop off Krutov. And the Islanders clear it out. Number 9, Krutov. His teammates call him the Tank. He is solidly built and loves to go to the front of the net. Here's Larry Arnoff over center ice. Slowed up a little bit by Larson as he gets into the Islander zone, and the team's at 6 aside again. Soviet Central Red Army team leading 2-1 here at the Nassau Coliseum. Fetisov for the pass to Makarov. It's stolen by LaFontaine. Comes over center ice. LaFontaine slipped it into the Soviet Union zone, but it's broken up there, and Fetisov has it. Got checked by King. Loose puck recovered here on the left side. Konstantinov plays it to Larry Arnoff. Into the Islander zone, holding the puck. Norton moved up on him. He plays it in a little deeper. Dikoff goes cross ice to Fetisov. Puts it back in the net. Jeff Norton gets to it. He's given it to King. Long cross ice pass. Over center ice comes Bergevin. Dumping it in wide of Milnikov. And after it, Delgarno and his backhand shot hit the outside of the net. LaFontaine gets to it. The wraparound is blocked. LaFontaine checked on the end boards. Then he steps around Larry Arnoff and is knocked down. Here's Fetisov. Pumped solidly by Delgarno. And the Soviets clear the zone. Long pass into the Islander territory. And the linesman Kevin Collins right on the play, or Brossiker rather, and Rudy played the puck. The Islanders trying to move out of their own zone. Cannot. Stelnoff with a shot that went wide as he whistled it from the point. Another drive sails wide. That one off Chernik's stick. This is King moving it to the left side to Gilbert. He dumps the puck into center ice. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. Coming back for it, the Soviet defenseman, Novakov, trying to play it up to the near side. Zalapukin tips it to Chernik. He comes over center ice. Kamensky with him, takes the drop pass. Kamensky shot blocked by Rudy, and there's no further play. Pause for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series exclusively on Sports Channel.
This is the heart of the world's financial body, Wall Street. Fortunes are made and lost daily. If you have the desire to be successful, I will show you how you can dramatically change your lifestyle by becoming a licensed stockbroker with the Investors Center. Wall Street isn't waiting. Why should you? Call our toll-free number now for a confidential interview or to attend a free seminar.
Listening in at the Islander bench as Brian Trottier was talking about the various lanes and plugging them up, getting people in front of people.
Explaining it all to Mark Aldridge, the trainer for the Islanders.
We have a wireless mic on the Islander veteran, Brian Trottier, who is obviously not playing tonight, being rested by Coach Al Arbor. And the Islanders have just iced the puck. So they'll face it off deep in the New York Islanders zone, and we ask you again to decide whether or not you'd like to see the National Hockey League enlarge the size of their arenas. In European hockey, the ice surface is much larger. Would you like to see that come to the NHL game? If yes is your thought, 1-900-300-6311. If no, 1-900-300-6312. There is a 75-cent charge for each call, and a portion of the proceeds will go to the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund. We'll have the results following the game and, of course, on Sports Nightly. I'm Jiggs McDonald with Ed Westfall at the Nassau Coliseum. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 2-1. And watch them set up. Sarah from back of the net. Pass off Makala's stick. Omatov takes it here on the left wing, goes rink wide with a pass to Bikov. Fake the slap shot, moves into the Islander zone, drops it to Gusarov for a shot. Rudy got a piece of that as Kamensky chases the rebound. Kamensky puts it back in the net. Here's Homatov centering. Kamensky, Rudy down, the puck knocked loose. Kamensky could never get it on the stick in time to shoot it. The Islanders force the Soviets back into their own zone.
Quickly, the Islanders cover up in front of Kelly Rudy. They've done a good job in this hockey game. They haven't allowed the Soviet Red Army team the liberty in the front of the goal that they've allowed some of the NHL teams.
Now the Soviets trying to move in. The play broken up. Puck came around the boards. Kasatonov trying to center one. Kamensky moves it to the right side. Homatov with a shot. Rudy, the blocking glove save. They center it again, and Kamensky fires it way wide of the net. Homatov centers the puck. Here's Bikov trying to get Kamensky open. Good job by Larson tying him up on the play. The puck loose again. Homatov puts it back of the net. Taken by Gary Nyland of the Islanders. Turned it over to Bikov. In front to Kamensky, and a weak shot. Changed direction on a deflection, and what a save by Kelly Rudy. He had a time for one speed, and it ended up about a 33 1/3 instead of a 78.
He had himself in the right position, though. Nyland is hooked up from behind. Stepping in, grabbing the puck is Boykov. There's his pass. Kamensky with a quick shot, partially blocked by Larson, and then grabbed by Kelly Rudy. Good scoring chance for the Soviets. Bang! Partially blocked. Kamensky, oh my goodness. Why didn't I keep it away from the defenseman as he was falling down? If it had gone high, I had a good chance.
Kamensky, the reputation of being a bit of a hot dog and not having too many friends on the national team or his Central Red Army team regular season.
83 and 86 won the World Championship gold medal. And of course, he was on the 88 Olympic team, Soviet Olympic team that won at Calgary.
Heard one of the reporters yesterday through an interpreter asking him if he would like to be the leader on this team, and he said, according to the interpreter anyway, he said that to a degree he was, but there were older people who got the credit.
More and more, they're sounding like NHL players.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems that Viktor Tikhonov, the coach, has now that he has never had in the past. Maybe Glasnost is starting to take over a little bit on his hockey team. Some of the players becoming a little more outspoken.
Igor Larionov, as you pointed out,
Tikhonov,
no question.
Yes, Tikhonov was wondering. He said, listen, I'm supposed to be going to the New Jersey Devils. I want to go there. So the only reason I can't go there is he feels that the coach won't let him. The coach says, listen, I signed a paper allowing you to go there. Said, I haven't. Fetisov says, I've never seen the paper.
Yeah, Fetisov said to the reporter who was asking, did you see him sign it? through the interpreter. But they're a little happier group. There are a lot more smiles these days than when the Soviets used to come, think back to 72, 76, and some of the other superpower series. Now Flatley gets the puck into the Soviet zone. Brent Sutter too well covered. Forechecking of Flatley knocked it loose, held in by David Volek. Volek moving it in along the boards. Comes back along the near wing, out into the center ice zone, and Bergevin drops back for the Islanders. A little more than 5 minutes to play in the period. Breaking pass to LaFontaine. Tied up from behind and taken down by Fetisov. Play allowed to continue. There's Didick with a shot, and Milnikov got a piece of that. Flatley with a shot. Had saved by Milnikov, and the Soviets are able to clear it out. Going back for it is Didick. Harold Didick gives it to Mark Bergevin up the right wing, but behind LaFontaine, and the Soviets set up again at center ice. Chernik with a pass across to the far side. Nobody there in a red uniform, so LaFontaine puts it in behind the net. Stelnov takes a hard hit from Delgarno. The Soviets come to center. Davidoff into the Islanders zone. Drops it back. Zelepukin cutting to the left wing. Zelepukin checked on the boards. Larson all over him. Now the puck goes loose again as Davidoff is knocked down. Meantime, Reed Larson gives it to King. The pass to Delgarno. He's lined up by Stelnov and slipped the check. Chernik drops back to help out in the Soviet defense. Loose puck at center ice. Picked up by Larson. Shoots it in around the boards, and LaFontaine lets it go to Delgarno. Slaps it back of the net right to LaFontaine. He draws a crowd. LaFontaine sets up. The pass to Nyland is shot blocked to the short side by Milnikov. Here's King getting it back to Nyland. Nyland plays one back of the net. Delgarno with it in front of. Backhander goes wide. Bounces into the corner for Makarov. Sergei Makarov bringing it out to center. Into the Islanders zone, trying to cut to the left side. His shot is blocked. Reed Larson takes Makarov out of the play, and King pokes the puck to center ice. Yakin dropped it back. Konstantinov putting it in the Islanders zone. It's brought back. Long shot by Larson. Stick save by Milnikov. And the Soviets take over. Makarov dropping it back. Now Satonov going behind the net. Plays it up the left side. This is Makarov. Makarov with a neat pass. Yakin comes to center ice to Larry Arnoff. He's into the Islanders zone and gets checked on the play. Norton back. Jeff Norton moves it to the left wing boards. Makarov sensing that tipped it, but right to Ramo Helminen. Now to Norton, out to Makula, and he turns it over at center ice. Larry Arnoff breaking up the play neatly. Now the Soviets. Yakin comes to center. Omatov checked at the Islander blue line, and the Soviets are offside. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 2-1.
Igor Stelnov gets knocked off. What a shot. Good hit. Open ice. Backs him up against the boards. Brad Delgarno using his size and his weight. Watch him. Pat LaFontaine, little dipsy doodle, handling the puck. Giving the Soviets a lesson in handling it. There's a shot by Bergevin. Saved by Milnikov. The rebound goes loose. The Islanders were not able to get another shot.
Each team with a goal here in the second period. David Volek with a pass to Brent Sutter. Puts the puck in the Soviet zone. I think back a couple of years ago, Brent Sutter very, very important for the Canadians in the World Championships. After the Islanders had been eliminated in the playoffs, Sutter, Rudy, Denny Potvin went to join Team Canada for the World Championships that were played in Moscow. At center ice, it's Homatov down right wing into the Islanders zone. Goes in deep, pulling up on Bergevin, drops the puck in toward the corner. Takeoff after it. It's knocked away from him, goes over the glass and on into the seats. The Soviet Central Red Army team leading the New York Islanders 2-1.
It learned to run in the Black Forest of Germany. But unlike others, it also learned to be nice to people.
Scorpio, the German sedan that's comfortable without forgetting what it learned in the forest. Scorpio, German performance you can be comfortable with.
Now get $2,000 customer cash on 1988 Scorpio from Lincoln Mercury.
Doing our best to get Brian Trache his conversation a moment ago with Pat Flatley. Coaches can see more of what's going on at times than players. The Islanders, Brad Delgarno brings the puck into center ice. He's out with King and LaFontaine. Delgarno taken down deep in the Soviet zone. King pushed into the goal, and it comes off, so play is stopped with 1:51 seconds left in the second period.
Suppose if you're trying to make a contrast to Derek King right now, not a contrast so much, I guess you could make a contrast into what he has been doing before he got hurt. He was doing well, seems to be doing very well since returning to the lineup. His first game against Toronto the other night. The Islanders' second win on the road for the season. Derek King in the game here, some fine moves to get Pat LaFontaine loose. But the contrast, I suppose, right now I was trying to make is that the Soviets, very seldom do they shoot the puck in. They carry the puck in, where in North America, and particularly in the National Hockey League, the tendency is more to dump it and chase it. We've been treated to a good hockey game. Skating has been excellent here tonight.
Some pretty good hits, too. Brad Delgarno's been involved in a couple.
Ooh. The Islanders got the draw, put it right on the stick of Nyland, and he whistled one wide of the net. Moving up into the Islanders zone, Nyland got back in time to knock it away from Koshikin, and here is LaFontaine in the Soviet zone. The puck knocked away from him. Yemchikov plays it out into the center ice zone. Here is Makarov with it. Makarov checked at the Islander line. Seeing more different line changes for the Soviets. Normally Makarov would only be out with Krutov and Larionov, but they have switched things around a little tonight on us. They don't play with those solid five-man units that they once did.
You would never see a change years ago. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be no matter what happened, no matter what the score. Little experimentation.
Harry King got the puck into the Soviet zone, drops it outside the line, however, to Larson. Plays it back in again. Milnikov left it behind the net. Diakin moves it up ahead to Chernik. Zelapukin comes over the line. Zelapukin trying to get through the defense work of Larson and Pilon. Richard Pilon lost it in his own zone. Chernik turns it over, however, and Reed Larson dumps it out through center ice. Gusarov back on the Soviet defense. To Diakin, let it go to Davidoff, and the play broken up by Makula. Makula to Gilbert, and off his stick and cleared out by Central Red Army. Back is Larson. Reed Larson dumps it in. Soviets get back for it. Alexei Gusarov playing it to the corner. Makula moves it to Helminen. That's up back of the net. Helminen centered one. Here's Makula turning. Trying to slip it back to the blue line. A weak pass, however. And Makarov, the captain, shoots from center ice. Rudy grabbing it as the horn sounds, ending the second period. And the Soviets are reminded that they have to stay on the bench until the home team leaves. They're getting an introduction to a lot of the National Hockey League rules tonight. There's Sergei Milnikov headed for the Soviet dressing room. Now the Soviets are released, and it's 2-1. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal in the second period by the Soviet Central Red Army team.
While we're watching the superpower face-off, we've also got a Patrick Division war with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
I'm Mike Ruzioni, and I'll have a closer look at the Red Army style and how it's controlled by the size of the National Hockey League rinks.
Expert analysis and NHL scores and highlights coming up between periods with Sports Nightly. Stay with us.
In the beginning, the Wiz was a dream. We had a small store and some big ideas, and a man whose principles were our inspiration. We always deal honestly with our customers. We guarantee the lowest prices and the highest quality. We demand perfection in our stores, of our salespeople, and our products. Integrity, customer satisfaction, excellence. It's why we can say nobody beats the Wiz.
At North General, we get more than 1,000 patients every day. The National Executive Service Corps made it possible for our staff and management to develop a quality hospital for this medically underserved area. Volunteer consultants from the NESC helped turn around this facility.
The National Executive Service Corps, helping nonprofits help people. For experience consultation, call 212-529-6660.
Without the National Executive Service Corps, there would be no North General Hospital.
Just as easy as scoring a goal, you could win a fabulous trip for two to Jamaica in the Sports Channel WEVD-WBAB Magic 5,000 contest. The Islanders started the season with 4,832 team goals. In early 1989, they'll ring up number 5,000. Tell us when, and you can win a vacation for two via Air Jamaica to the beautiful Caribbean resort Boscobel Beach. Write down the date you think the Isles will notch number 5,000 and send it to Magic 5,000 Contest, P.O. Box 234, Woodbury, New York, 11797.
Okay. Welcome back to Sports Nightly Studios. Lee Zeidman along with Mike Ruzioni. The score 2-1, but the big surprise so far is that not only is the score 2-1, but the Soviets have outshot the Islanders by about 2-1 as well.
Well, I think, in fairness to the Islanders, the power play situation, especially in the first period, had a lot to do with those shots. But the Islanders, I thought, played extremely well in the second period and took the Soviets out of their rhythm, out of their game. There's one thing about the Soviets that's always impressed me, is their percentage of shots. Watch how they always seem to give the guy a good angle and a good percentage shot. They move the puck extremely well. They make good drop passes. Here's another look at it here. And it's just always impressed me where they very rarely will make a diagonal pass. They will always look for the trailer. They'll hold the puck. They'll wait to see somebody come in from behind, come in from the trail to get a good percentage shot. Hardly ever will you see them shoot the puck off the angle. They'll always hold it. They'd rather get checked in the corner than throw the puck blindlessly to the point. They'll look for that guy coming in front.
Theirs is a precision game, and you have to wonder how much a significantly smaller NHL rink does to cramping their style.
Well, I think it's got a great deal to do with why their style is cramped. Because of the size of the rink, there's no room for them. Where they would normally go wider, they have to be tighter. The boards are there. Easier for opponents to check the Soviets in a smaller rink. But today I had a chance to go over to the rink, watch them practice, talk to some of the players, and got their views on the different styles of rinks.
And we're going to hear about Mike's conversations with the Soviet players about the rink size after the game on Sports Nightly, so stay tuned for that. Sports Channel's exclusive coverage of the Superpower Face-Off Series continues Saturday with a doubleheader. Saturday afternoon, the Central Red Army collides with the Bruins in Boston, live from Boston Garden at 1:30. Then Saturday night, Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings square off with the Dynamo Riga at the Forum. We'll see the great one against the Soviets' great young goaltender, Artur Urbe. Phone lines are still open if you've not yet voted in tonight's Fans Call. Would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of its rinks? Ruzioni votes yes. If you agree, dial 1-900-300-6311. If you say no, dial 1-900-300-6312. Dial carefully. Each call costs 75 cents. Some proceeds will go to the Armenian earthquake relief. We'll have the final tabulation after the game on Sports Nightly. The Superpower Face-Off Series has been a stroll down memory lane for Mr. Ruzioni. 7 members of the current Central Red Army Club played for the Soviets when Mike captained the U.S. Miracle on Ice Club back in 1980. Now, this afternoon, we witnessed a touching moment. Mike got together with a gold medal teammate, New York Islander Ken Morrow.
Do you have any flashbacks watching the Soviets? I'm thinking Morrow picks the puck out of the zone and feeds up to Harrington or over to Christoph or somebody like that?
All I remember is the goal you scored, Mike.
Touché. He's a smart kid, isn't he?
He is a smart kid. As you watch the Soviets, I mean, when you played these guys, the stars were kids. How much has their game changed?
Well, believe it or not, they seem like they may have slowed down just a little. Krutov and Larionov, Fetisov, Kasatonov, they were 18, 19, 20 years old then. And they were a little more aggressive. Krutov especially, remember him being the first, in my opinion, the first Soviet that really came out and started to play more of the North American style of play. He banged you a lot more, he went in the corners a lot more, where the old players, Petrov and Karlamov and Mikhailov, were more flashier and didn't go into the corner as often. And I think that team relied a little more on their goaltender because he was so great in Tretiak than the teams in now do. I think Krutov now doesn't rely on his goaltender as much and maybe plays a little tougher and a little meaner than he did the old players.
Now, of course, those guys we're talking about are now 28, 29, 30 years old. Fetisov is 30. The KLM line, Krukov, Larionov, Makarov, all four of those guys have been drafted by NHL clubs. All four have expressed an interest to play over here. What kind of impact can they have at this age?
Well, it'd be interesting to see what kind of impact they have, not as a line. See, they weren't the KLM line when they were kids. They developed that name because of the success that they had gotten over the years in the Soviet Union. I don't know how well Krutov will play without Makarov, and how well Larionov will play without Krutov and Makarov, and how well will Fetisov play without Kostanov. Unless they can get some Canadians or some Americans with those names, maybe they'll be able to blend in. But that's the one question I have, is how they will play as individuals.
Well, it's interesting to note that they've all said they want to play with Gretzky. So
well, I'd come out of retirement.
We're going to update tonight's NHL action after this.
Someone once said the best way to follow football action is to follow the quarterback's arm. This quarterback's arm belongs to Jim Kelly, and he's holding a copy of the Sporting News, which is really the best way to follow football action.
I've been reading the Sporting News for 12 years now, and when it comes to inside information, this is the next best thing to a coach's meeting. The Sporting News, for total team coverage, college and pro. More football facts and stats than any other sports weekly, plus hot news of baseball, basketball, and hockey. Take it from this quarterback. The Sporting News is America's favorite way to follow football action, and now delivered right to your door at a 75% savings.
Call 1-800-453-1905 and get 50 big issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of just $7.47. You'll save 75% off the cover price, save 50% off the regular subscription rate. So call now, 1-800-453-1905. That's 1-800-453-1905.
Saturday, the Central Red Army plays Boston. Monday, the Red Army skates against the New Jersey Devils. Well, the Bruins and the Devils are facing off tonight at the Meadowlands. The first time they've seen each other since the semis of last year's Stanley Cup. First period, Bruins up 1-0. Bob Joyce gets off a wrist shot. It's blocked by Kenny Linsman, but the rebound goes into the net, 2-0 Boston. Second period, Bruins up 2-1. Randy Burridge comes in, steals the puck, turns around, puts it past Bob Sauvé to make it 3-1 Boston. Boston has now made it 4-1 in the third period out at New Jersey. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, the top team in the Patrick Division, trails Philadelphia 3-1 in the third. Toronto and Quebec 6-5, a shootout between the Leafs and the Nordiques. Calgary and Montreal, the top two teams in the league, no score. First period of the Olympic Saddledome in Vancouver and Los Angeles gets started about 40 minutes from now. That's the news for now. Complete wrap-up follows the game with Sports Nightly. Send you back to the Coliseum, period 3, after this.
This is the how to change your lifestyle by becoming a licensed stockbroker with the Investors Center. Wall Street isn't waiting. Why should you? Call our toll-free number now for a confidential interview or to attend a free seminar.
The city, Rockville Center. The sporting goods mystery case. The only clue, a tag from Wolf Sport Shop. 12:56 p.m. Find the culprit sport. Case solved. It must be baseball, golf, football, soccer, tennis, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, boxing. 4:23 p.m. Case dismissed. Wolf selection, too big.
Wolf Sport Shop in Rockville Center. And look for our new location in Huntington Village.
Who really blacked out the Knicks and the Rangers? Madison Square Garden wants to keep you in the dark. The Garden wants to charge all cable viewers to see its teams, even people who don't like the Knicks and Rangers. And now the Garden is spending $500 million for rights to the Yankees, and they want everyone to pay for that too. At Cablevision, we think the choice should be yours, not Madison Square Garden's.
2-1, the Red Army leading the New York Islanders. Let's go back to Nassau Coliseum. Sports Channel's Ed Westfall standing by. Ed?
Thank you, Lee. Well, I suppose for the Soviet Union, the shorthanded goal seems to be the play of the night. Interesting to note, before we get to the replays, though, this is the 8th period these two teams have played against each other over the years. Hasn't been a major penalty by either team. We're seeing outstanding hockey. Let's go to the highlights. Pat LaFontaine had opportunities galore in the first period. He gets the goal in the second period to tie it. Here, with the play broken up, Brad Delgarno has played a fine hockey game for the Islanders. LaFontaine comes up with the puck. What happens here is, on the defenseman, Brad Delgarno makes the right play. The wrong play is made by number 19, Baykoff, here, as he doesn't cover Pat LaFontaine. LaFontaine's pass is heading across the ice to who else? Derek King. They've teamed up so well in the hockey game here tonight. King picks up the puck. The only player back is Kasatonov. Beautiful pass. LaFontaine under the right arm of goaltender Milnikov. And it's a 1-1 hockey game. King assisting on Pat LaFontaine's goal. Brad Delgarno should have an assist, but he doesn't. Things like this happen in hockey games. They happen to Thomas Johnson. He loses the puck and racing away, Baykoff. He was the victim of the Islander goal by Pat LaFontaine through the pads of Kelly Rudy. Baykoff regains the lead. A short-handed goal, the second one of the night. Baykoff scoring to make it 2-1 in the second period at 7:27. The teams are returning to the ice. It's 2-1. The Soviets over the Islanders. You're watching the NHL Soviet Series on Sports Channel.
If it's happening, I'm there, okay? Foreign films, answering machine for my car phone, okay? Hey, it's goat cheese or no cheese. My beer, so hip, with a twist.
When you're done kidding around, Heineken.
Check me out. All my plastic, gold. You know, I live in the city, but my clothes say Safari. My imported beer, ooh, the bigger the better, mate.
Like we said, when you're done kidding around, Heineken.
Hi, I'm Mark Messier of the Edmonton Oilers, with reason number 11 to watch NHL hockey. Good hard checking. Get the action reaction. Watch NHL hockey.
Sports Channel America is making headlines. We're now on live, prime time, 7 nights a week. In addition to our extensive NHL coverage, Sports Channel America delivers 37 hotly contested men's college basketball matchups. Men's basketball featuring the highly ranked Southeastern Conference and the best in high school hoops. Plus, Sports Channel America offers hard-hitting boxing, tennis, and more. Be a part of the new era in cable sports. Sports Channel America, 7 nights a week.
Harrah's Casino Hotel and Haran Coachways would like to help Islander fans bring in the new year with their '89 Pocket Calendar Night. This Tuesday, January the 3rd, when the Philadelphia Flyers visit the Coliseum. All fans will receive a 1989 month-at-a-glance pocket calendar. Celebrate the new year with the Islanders, Harrah's and Haran Coachways. Let's take a look at Pat LaFontaine. He had 2 good scoring chances in the first period. This is at the very beginning of the second period. Pass by, yes, Derek King, Pat LaFontaine. What a stop here by Milnikov. Sergei Milnikov sliding across, stacking the pads. LaFontaine scored just after that. There he is on the bench, having another good night for his New York Islanders.
Elmaden takes the face-off against Larionov to open up the third period here at the Nassau Coliseum. Tisov back in his own zone. That long pass into center ice. Down into the Islanders zone, and Rudy plays it around the boards for Greg Gilbert. Cross-ice pass into the center ice zone. Ends up back in the Soviet territory. Konstantinov, the defenseman who went back, played it up the boards, but here's Gilbert turning in the Soviet zone. Centers one. Norton with a shot. Milnikov back into the goal mouth to make the stop. And it's cleared out into center ice. Played around Krutov by Pilon. The Soviets go back. A couple of things that you've probably witnessed here tonight about the Soviets. They just turned the puck over. Oh, and it slides under the pads of Milnikov. Helmeted taking it from back of the net. Came oh so close to tying it up.
A broken play. The Islanders jump on it quickly. Raimo Helminen. Fetisov there loses the puck. Helminen grabs it, comes around quickly. He thought he had it in, but it was the right pad. The right pad of Milnikov dragging along the ice that kept the puck from going in. Helminen did everything right. Stole the puck from Fetisov, excuse me.
Brian Trottier is handling the Islanders now at the bench as Al Arbor has gone to one of the skyboxes to watch it.
I'd like to ask him, Brian, you know all the players' names. Right from the face-off, a drive over the crossbar by Pat Flatley.
And the Soviets play it out through center ice. It appeared to be a two-line pass. Kaminsky comes in. Rudy the stop. The rebound loose. Centered in front. And Konstantinov trying to get it set up. He is checked on the play, and Flatley bangs it off the boards and out to center ice. Great opportunities at both ends of the ice. Omatov dumping it into the Islander zone. Rudy lets it go to Nyland, and that's going to be called on an icing. Started to say a few moments ago a couple of things about the Soviets. You very seldom see, and I don't think we've seen them tonight, go offside at the blue line. They just do not do that. The other thing, they don't dump it in. I was starting to say they don't give the puck away very often, and then bang, there's a chance for Helminen.
Right from the face-off, Flatley put it over the crossbar, but then back come the Soviets. That's Kaminsky with a shot stopped by Kelly Rudy. He drags his left pad, kicks it away from the net. End-to-end action. Flatley had just tickled the top of the crossbar. There he is again. I should say LaFontaine from the face-off. The Soviets generally, again, are very good at face-off. The Islanders, in the second period, were winning most of them. Two important ones here at the beginning of the third period. The Islanders come up with the puck.
And again, they're jockeying some people from the KLM line. Makarov out on left wing now. He had a couple of words with the Nemchov as he moved in for this face-off. And the Nemchov is going to be moved out. Linesman Gord Brasiker waving the Soviet player from the face-off area.
Nemchikov, not a lot of ice time, but I guess they're going to start to use him here in the third period.
Shekin came in to take the draw. The Soviets moving out on the right side. Nemchikov into the Islanders zone with the pass. Broken up, and here's Bergevin. Bergevin trying to outskate the Soviets. Cleared the zone. Nemchikov with it at center ice. They come over the line again. Makarov is taken down, turned around by Delgarno. Now Makarov back on his skate, centers one. It goes right to Rudy. Comes out to cover the puck, and there's no further play.
Skating stays in the hockey game. The Islanders, probably the best we've seen them in a long time in their own end of the ice in this hockey game. Al Arbor joins General Manager, President Bill Torrey up in the birdcage.
Brian Trottier at the bench. The wireless mic is open. Sign language now.
First chance, change. First chance.
First chance, make a change. That sign language.
First chance is coming, boys.
LaFontaine squaring to take the face-off. Chernik got the draw back to the left point. Konstantinov's shot is deflected over the glass and on into the seat.
I suppose if you're wondering about Brian Trottier behind the bench as coach, is that something that maybe the Islanders are... All you have to do is walk up and down behind the bench, know everybody's number, and know everybody's name.
I used to have a broadcast partner that told me that was the way to coach the Montreal Canadiens. He didn't finish the season when he took that approach. The Islanders have just iced the puck as Fetisov went back to touch up in his own zone. This is the 43rd season of Soviet Union National Hockey League play. See Brian Trottier and Rick Wilson talking. See if we can listen in.
Brent Cromwood.
Oh, yeah. What's the next line going outside?
Okay. You want to throw them on now?
If we don't catch this kid, they'll be coming with one of those top lines.
Yeah.
Obviously, what they're trying to do is they're trying to match lines.
Brent, Crom, and Wood seem to be a line combination that they're talking about. King, Delgarno, and LaFontaine remain out on the ice. Put the puck in the Soviet zone. Chernik moves it up the right wing board. On into the Islanders zone. Delapukin is knocked down on the play by Pilon. The puck loose back in the net. LaFontaine takes over. Played it away from Chernik out into the center ice zone, and Fetisov drops back. Now over the line is Chernik. Norton chases him back. Chernik's pass off the stick. LaFontaine lost it. Loose in front. Oh, Rudy sprawls to the right side. Dazzling save on Davidoff. At LaFontaine, trying to clear it out, hit one of the Soviets in the back, Davidoff, and then hold the puck in. Zalapukin on right wing to Davidoff. He shoots, blocked by Norton, and the rebound is turned aside by Rudy. At LaFontaine, moves it up to Derek King. King with Wood. The play broken up. Zalapukin has it. Zalapukin turning in the center ice area. Valery Zalapukin turns and shoots it down into the Islander zone. Comes off the boards for Nyland. Vladimir Krutov moved into forecheck. Wood moves it up to Crom. It is Wood with Johnson and Crom, the Islander forward line. Nyland with a shot, and Melnikov, the save, dropped it off. Kasatonov trying to move it out on the boards. Knocked loose by Crom. Gusarov with it back of the net. Played it to the left side, and it's cleared around the boards and out to center by Krutov. Picking it up is Larry Arnott. Makarov moves in to join him, but Larry Arnott can't get around the defensive work of Nyland. This is Randy Wood clearing the zone. Johnson chasing a loose puck. Kasatonov back on the Soviet defense. Played it to the left side. Krutov to Makarov. Now Larry Arnott comes over the line. Larry Arnott put it in the skates of his teammate. Kasatonov centers. Makarov was checked by Pilon. Thomas Johnson brings it out on the left side. Johnson flips it into the Soviet zone. Milnikov steering it to Gusarov. Alexei Gusarov moves it to right wing. Sergei Makarov with a pass. And Bykov can't get into the Islander zone. Now they shove it in across the line. It's recovered by Norton. Bykov's goal is the difference in this game. 2-1. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders. Greg Gilbert at center ice. Wraparound pass cleared by the Soviets. Norton with it again. Over to Pilon. Tip. Pilon able to move it out into the center ice zone. So Byakin goes back for Central Red Army. And Yansky turning at center ice along with Homatov. Byakin takes it all the way back of the net rather than give it away to anybody.
Puck control. That's the way they like to play hockey. They don't golf it away.
Now Gilbert traces it into the Soviet zone. Greg Gilbert in front to Flatley, and it's knocked loose. Nyland gets control of it. Then it's cleared right back to Gilbert. Trying to set up Helminen. The Soviet defense tightens up, and out comes Homatov on right wing. Into the Islander zone. Can't get around Nyland. Kelly Rudy puts it back of the Islander net for Reed Larson. To the near side for Flatley. His pass is blocked. Flatley goes back for the puck. Gives it to Gilbert on left wing. Up to Patrick Flatley into the Soviet zone. Patrick Flatley pulls up, centers, and the shot is blocked by Milnikov. Brent Sutter with a chance. Centers it in front. Flatley tapped it wide. Taken down on the play as Gilbert. There'll be a penalty. Flatley shoots and scores! Flatley ties it at 2.
The Islanders, yes, the Islanders had the Soviets running around in their own end of the ice. Sutter has a chance. Flatley has a chance. Then finally Flatley with his second chance and a delayed penalty fires it into the lower left-hand side. Milnikov reaching for it, couldn't get to it. Here the Islanders a buzz. Flatley dumps it just wide of the left goalpost to the left of Milnikov. Sutter, who had a scoring opportunity earlier, passes the puck. There's the shot into the lower left-hand corner, and Flatley has tied it at 2 apiece as Brent Sutter passes it in front, one-timing it. It's a 2-2 game.
And over at the Soviet bench, Tikhonov really upset with that line when they came back. He was down nose to nose with a couple of his players. They are tied at 2 as Flatley scores at the 5:28 mark. Patrick Flatley moves up into center ice with Volek on one side, Sutter on the other. Flatley bump, brings it back in offside, and play is called. Still 14 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third period. The score tied 2-2.
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
I wonder if he gets into any... That's at the train.
That's the train getting ready.
Boy, he has been so vocal. He's calmed down a little bit, but I'm sitting here wondering if he has any arguments like that at home. His wife, Tatiana, is a lawyer in Moscow. He has a son, Vasily, who plays for a second division team in the Soviet Union.
Boy, is he hot. He was working his way up and down the bench, and the ears, even covered with a helmet, have to be ringing. He's upset with the performance of his team and that particular exchange that the Islanders tied the score on. Flatley, the Canadian Olympic team in '84, he had 33 goals, 17 assists, 50 points for the Canadian team.
Flatley has given the Islanders a 2-2 tie as they turn Fetisov around in his own zone. The puck knocked away from him, but cleared outside the line. King gets it right back from Bergevin, played it to the right side to Diddick. He puts it in the Soviet territory. Well, Karno went into forecheck, but it's Fetisov moving it up the right side. Ashnikin in the center ice zone. Chernik got checked in the Islander territory. Norton, a turnover in his own end of the ice. Davidoff centers, but right to Norton. Jeff Norton, breaking pass into the center ice zone. LaFontaine drops it back to Pilon. A couple of Soviets collided as the Islanders start out. Pilon with a pass to Randy Wood. Played it over the Soviet blue line, but Kusarov is back. Dumps it down the ice. Does have enough on it to get across the goal line, and an icing call against Central Red Army. 13 minutes, 2 seconds left in the third period. The score is tied 2-2.
They are the elite teams of the Soviet League, Central Red Army and Dynamo Riga. They're coming to North America to challenge the Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, New York Islanders, and more. East meets West in this clash of hockey titans. New Year's Eve, all-universe Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings collide with the youth and speed of Dynamo Riga in the Superpower Face-Off. Live at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, exclusively on Sports Channel New Year's Eve.
Again, we listen in to Brian Trottier at the Islander bench, reminding his players to keep the lanes covered.
Keeping the lanes covered is a little like saying, you know, wing on wing. Make sure you have somebody covered coming back into your own end.
Pilon with a shot right on. Mildakov the save. Wood centers one in front. Kusarov for the Soviet Union, playing it to the right side. Zelebukin into the Islander zone. Centered one, and it's tapped wide by Chernik. Davidoff gets to it. Rich Crom reaching in, couldn't knock it away from the Soviet player. Chernik with a shot, and Rudy, the pad save. The Islanders able to clear it away from Kasatonov down into the Soviet zone, and this will be an icing call.
One of the few icings the Islanders have made in this hockey game. The Soviets were making a few just a moment ago. Kelly Rudy, good stop. Alexander Chernik, a moment ago, one-timing it. Here, gets enough on it. That deflected. That's what fooled Kelly Rudy for a moment. Got his skate out, got his glove in behind the skate. Take another look as the Soviet Red Army team try to gear up the offense. Kelly Rudy making a good stop, kicking it off into the corner. It's a 2-2 tie with 12:27 remaining in the third period.
Larry Ernoff moves in to take the face-off. The KLM line out there for the Soviets. Here's Gilbert. He shoots it into the Red Army zone. It comes off the boards. Helminen after it. He got checked on the play, and Makarov takes the pass from Krutov. Makarov stick back to the net. Larson pushes him, and look at the way he holds on to that puck. Finally, it's turned over, however. Larson to Gilbert. Up to Helminen. Raimo Helminen checked by Larry Ernoff, and Makarov drops it back into his own zone. Vladimir Makarov dumps it down the right side. Islanders covering up in their own territory. Here's Gilbert out to Helminen. 3 Soviets back. Helminen over the line. Centers to Gilbert off his stick and wide of the net. Gilbert frees it for Makula. Puts it to the side of the net. Gilbert jabbing at it. It comes loose for Makula. Makula tied up. Gilbert is knocked into the back of the net. In after the loose puck goes Diddick. Banks one off the side of the net. The Soviets come up with it, but not before a little scuffle. Meantime, Krutov is appealing to the referee who's called the play. Gary Fraser has at least one penalty to call here, maybe more. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series on Sports Channel.
This is Roger McDowell. This is Gary Carter for the Foster Care Network. Did you know that each month over 1,000 New York children become homeless, neglected, abused, abandoned, or their parents are too poor or too sick to care for them? These children have a chance if good foster homes are found for them. But there's a critical shortage of good foster homes. To find out how you can become a foster parent, call the Foster Care Network serving all boroughs.
Melikov and Gilbert getting the penalties for roughing. The Islanders with more pressure around Milnikov in goal. Mikko Makala fighting away at the side of the net. That's Larionov, number 8. Mikko Makala knocks the lid off Melikov. But the penalties go to Greg Gilbert and Melikov.
And a look at the Soviet bench. Makarov playing in this game tonight. We talked about Mikhailov, the assistant coach, being the #1 all-time goal scorer. Makarov is now 10th. And if he has as good a season as everybody anticipates in regular season play, he'll pass Alexander Maltsev and Helmut Guterres. Guterres right there for him to pass this year on their all-time scoring list. Then comes your pal, Yakushev. Remember Kursov? Kursov, yes. He's next in line for Makarov to pass. 2-2 is the score. We're reaching the midway point of the third period, here at the Nassau Coliseum. The breaking pass. Look out. Rudy able to make the save on Bikov, who got it up high. One of the few times the Soviets have gone high with Rudy in the nets.
That's one of the advantages, Jigsy. Soviets love to control the puck. They will not just shoot it in. They move it back to their own blue line and let the forwards regroup. Then they start up the ice from the red line toward the Islander blue line.
Makarov dropped it back. Gusarov shot is blocked, and LaFontaine feeds it to King. Right back to LaFontaine. Delgarno over on the right side. LaFontaine into the Soviet zone. Gave it to King in the corner. Back to the point for Pilon. That's one go, and that deflected off Makarov. Delgarno gives it to King. Eric King, cross ice to LaFontaine, picks it out of the corner. Trying to step around the check of Casatona. Got it to Delgarno, goes to the corner for it. Takes it back to the net. Giving a ride along the boards. Now Norton moves in, the puck knocked loose. He's out into the center ice area, but picked up by King. Can't get LaFontaine over the line as Delgarno's play is blocked. And the Soviets turn back again. Yemchinov dropping it into his own zone. Kasatonov with it. Moves it to Makarov. Makarov dumps it in. Rudy slows it up. Taken back in the net by Wood. Wood is high stick on the play. There'll be a penalty against the Soviets. Ellie Rudy stays on the ice. Now the Islanders move it out with a pass to LaFontaine at center. Back to Pilon. Rudy has gone to the bench for the extra attacker. Pilon gives it to Wood. Back to Pilon. Richard Pilon tied up on the boards, and as the Soviets control the puck, there's no further play. There will be a high sticking penalty. 9:04 remaining in the third period. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series on Sports Channel.
Where do professional drivers and mechanics turn for the parts and supplies they need for their cars? The same place you can find everything you need for your car, Auto Right, where everything that's right for your car is right under one roof. Like Valvoline All Climate and 4-Guard Motor Oil, because your car is special. So come to the same place the pros go and do it right with Auto Right.
Touching on the play about how the Soviets go back to their own blue line, regroup, and here's what happens. A breakaway pass. Homutant with a beautiful pass to Bikov. What a stop by Kelly Rudy, keeping the score at 2 apiece. Here's the high stick on Randy Wood. Wood going behind, trying to fight the check off. Kozchikin gets the stick around the throat of Randy Wood, gets the penalty. The Islanders go to the power play. The Islanders' 6th power play of the hockey game.
Linesman Gord Brossiker puts the puck in play, and it comes back to Diddick on the left point. Goes to the right side, in front to Brent Sutter, to Volek, and the goaltender, Milnikov, knocked it away before he could get a stick on it. Volek to Flatley. Back to the point for Diddick, pulling a little to the right, lets one go, it's blocked. Here's Flatley with a shot. Milnikov gets help at the defense. Now the puck comes loose. Larionov playing it off the boards and down into the Islanders zone.
Islanders handling the puck on the power play very well. Good shot by Diddick from the left point position. Had the ball scared in front of the net.
Helmanen pulls in on right wing, drops it back to Norton. Over to Gerald Diddick, fires off the goalpost. Loose puck, Wallach able to get it back to Norton. Jeff Norton comes to the left side. Feeds it right back. Here's Wallach, lets one go. That drifted wide of the net. Comes off the mesh, now back into the mesh, and there's no further play. 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third period. The Soviets appealing to get the face-off outside the blue line. And again, Brian Trottier at the Islander bench, coaching now as Al Arbor has gone upstairs to watch his team.
Now he's got his hand to his head trying to figure out what number is so-and-so on his own team.
John Perron, the coach of the Quebec Nordiques now, the interim coach, had a great quote following their game with the Soviets Monday night. He said that the game was worth 10 practices.
Be ready for Patty.
And I think when you look at tonight's game, and as well as the Islanders have played, you can see why, because they certainly have gained not only experience but confidence in their own ability.
Cromer, be ready for Ramo.
There's the centerman on, well, actually, Ramo is not playing. He's playing on the left wing side.
Makula feeding it in to Helmanen, to Makula, back to Janssen with 58 seconds in the power play. Over to Makula, one-timed it, wide of the net. It's off the boards, and the Soviets are able to clear it up off Homatov's stick. Islanders set up again in the center ice area. Janssen taking Makula's pass. Janssen, who has some international experience as well, dumps it in. LaFontaine got checked on the play by Kasatonov. Clear it to the line off Janssen's stick, and he'll have to come back. He and Larson together on the points. Moving into forecheck is Bikoff. He had the shorthanded goal to give the Soviets the lead. Now LaFontaine with a pass to Makula as he went into the Soviet zone. Centers LaFontaine with a shot that's high. It's off the glass on right wing, and Homatov carries it to center ice. Into the Islander zone with a shot that's wide. 12 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Fontaine, after it had hit him, went to the right wing boards. The puck kicked back to the blue line, and Stelnov fired one wide of the net. Teams at 6 aside. Helmanen dropping the puck back to Reed Larson. Shoots it in off the boards at center ice. Milnikov slows it up. Stelnov gets double teamed as he moves it around to the right side. Andrei Homatov puts it into the center ice zone. Into the Islander territory. Bikoff centered one wide of the net. And Diddick is able to clear it out into center ice. Little less than 7 minutes to go in the third period. The score tied 2-2. Central Red Army and the New York Islanders. Second game of their tour for Central Red Army. They've dumped the puck into the Islander zone and get to it first. They get Makarov parked in front of the net. The pass was nowhere near anybody in a red uniform, so back they go. Nabokov playing it up the far side. Now into the center ice zone. Yemchov into the Islander territory. Centering pass is deflected to Randy Wood. 3 Soviets get back. 3 Islanders move up. Wood comes over the line with Crom and Brent Sutter. And the defensive work of Melnikov breaks up the play. The puck went toward the net, and Melnikov covers and holds on there. 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the third period. The Islanders and Central Red Army tied.
Completely different Mercury Cougar.
Take my breath away.
Introducing Pulse Quickening Comfort. The all-new Cougar from Mercury, where comfort and control are one.
This Monday afternoon on Sports Channel, Red Army will go against offensive gunner John McClain and the New Jersey Devils at 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central. Catch this great Super Series matchup right here on Sports Channel, the network of the NHL. Check your local listings for regional games in your area.
Chernik is moving around to the face-off circle. It appeared that linesman Gord Brossiker, yes, he did. He moved him out of there. So Zelepukin will take the draw, and the puck comes back to Norton covering the right point, then knocked away from him by Davidoff. Back into his own zone is Pilon. Left side to King. Breaking pass to LaFontaine. He was onside but couldn't pick it up. LaFontaine takes a hit from Kasarov. Big rangy Soviet defenseman moves it to the right side. Zelepukin into center ice. Over the Islander zone to Davidoff. Lets one go, and it was off Norton. Loose puck. King takes the man. LaFontaine gets checked. Davidoff turns, comes off the board. Shot one off Rudy's blocking glove. Delgarno goes to the corner. Knocked the puck loose. Davidoff centers, and the Soviets have a great chance. It's blocked once, twice by Rudy, and brought out by Pilon. Spectacular stop by Kelly Rudy, and Pilon dumps it into the left side of Milnikov. Going it after it is King. Centers the puck. The Soviets get back and now start out. Into the center ice zone. Moving up neatly with it is Davidoff. He's checked at the Islander territory. This is Mark Bergevin over center ice. Long bouncing shot covered by Milnikov. Sergei Milnikov played all 8 games for the Soviets on their way to the gold medal at Calgary last February. In the nets for his second game on this Superpower Series. The score tied 2-2 with little less than 5 minutes to go in the third period. Larry Ardoff with the pass. Fetisov moved it to Makarov. Centered it right in front, and they score! Left all alone is Krutov, the tank. They call him, and it's 3-2 for the Soviets.
One mistake, one big mistake in their own end of the ice. In the third period, and the Islanders pay the price. The Soviets go ahead 3-2. Krutov takes the pass. Take a look at the play developing in the center ice area. That's Krutov as he picks up the puck, comes down, taken out of the play. The pass to the right wing side. There's the play across, picking it up, backhanding it through the legs of Kelly Rudy. Beautiful passing play by Vladimir Krutov, who started in the center ice area, finishes it up by taking the pass, getting in behind the Islander defense, and making it 3-2 with that smooth backhand shot. Again, there's the pass coming across, the quick backhand. Makarov passing to Krutov, and it's a 3-2 lead.
And number 2, Vyacheslav Fetisov.
Well, there it is. Krutov, Makarov, and Fetisov. 3 very familiar names in Soviet hockey. The goal at 15:24. Krutov drops the puck back. Larry Ardoff at center into the Islander zone. Got knocked down by Brent Sutter, however. Fetisov with it. Got it right back again. Neat the way they set it up in their own territory.
Very neat. You'll remember, though, the last time that line was out on the ice, they had a checking line, including Randy Wood out there, along with Thomas Johnson, to try and keep that KLM line in check, and they did a good job.
Now Fetisov with it, back of his own goal, up the boards. Krutov can't clear it out. Here's Gary Nyland playing it in deep. Chasing it is Flatley as it comes to the boards. Flatley gets double-teamed, and the puck is cleared to center ice. Let's go Islanders. The chant that you hear in the background is David Volek dumps one in. Fetisov back for the Soviets. 3.5 minutes to go in the third period. Soviet Union with a long pass to Homatov. He's over the Islander line, cutting to the left side with Bykov. Bykov goes to the front of the net. Good job by Larson, taking Homatov into the corner. The puck comes around to the left side. Bykov centers. Kamensky. Brent Sutter ties him up as he went to center him. Now Bykov puts it back in the goal again. Valery Kamensky is checked, and David Volek has it knocked off his stick by Bykov. Volek from back of the net. Turned it over in his own end of the ice. Homatov centering attempt was blocked, and it's Nyland playing it across to Larson. Comes over center ice. Into the Soviet zone. The puck knocked loose. Larson going after it. In comes Flatley. It's knocked away from him. Volek cannot get a stick on it. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third period. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 3-2. Soviet setting up back of the goal. Moving up the right side. This is Homatov with it. His pass to Chernik is broken up. Jeff Norton left it on the boards, and Davidoff turns it over. Now they get to it again. Over the Islander line comes Chernik on right wing. Pilon chases him back of the net. Chernik comes out in front, centers, and it's shot high and wide by Homatov. Almost hit his teammate, Davidoff. This is Pilon carrying it into center. Breaking pass to King. It went off his stick. He races it after it. King trying to center the puck. Soviets play it around the boards, out to center. Icing waved off here. We have exactly 2 minutes to go in the third period as Norton comes back for the puck. Jeff Norton carries it over the center ice stripe. The U.S. Olympian of '88 taken into the boards and a good hip check. Konstantinov, the man who got him. And now at center, the Soviets set up again. Larry Ardoff drops it back to Fetisov. Konstantinov to Fetisov. Fetisov Dumps one up through center ice. It'll go right to Kelly Rudy. Picking it up is Gerald Diddick. Diddick looks for an opening. Pass ahead, relayed to Helmanen by Makela. Helmanen across the line, shoots one, blocked at the defense. Helmanen's forechecking, turns Fetisov around, but he recovers the puck and clears it out. It'll slide just wide of the Islander net. No icing. Richard Pilon steps from back of the goal now with a pass up left wing into the skates of Greg Gilbert. Gilbert trying to relay it to Makela, who was cutting down the right side. Diddick in the meantime picks it up, brought it over the Soviet blue line offside. A break in the action here. The Soviet Central Red Army team leading the New York Islanders 3-2.
Introducing A1 Poultry Sauce, created to make the taste of your chicken come alive. Make your drumstick delicious. Turn your broiler to bliss. Relish it. Embellish it. Make your skewer newer. Take a plunge. Savor it. Flavor it. Delight in it. Enlighten it. New A1 Poultry Sauce. With its luscious blend of herbs, fruit, and spices, it makes the most of chicken any way you make it.
Diddy?
Coaching staff getting ready for, I guess, pulling the goaltender and the extra skaters.
You got the goalie?
Islanders using the timeout. Ryan Trottier.
David, Flats, and Brent. Forwards. Patty takes the goalie. That puck to the net.
Take a look at what happened the last two times these met. All by one goal. The Soviet Wings 2, the Islanders 1. Brian Trottier scored the only Islander goal in 1976. Viktor Shalamov and Vladislav Anisin scored for the Soviet Union in 76. Fresh back from the Soviet Union, obviously with the hat, the military fatigues. Probably the Red Army. Doesn't play on the hockey team. There's his flag. He's even got the flag going for him.
And tell me that there are fans from as far away as Florida, former residents of the Soviet Union. Have some friends on the team, came up to watch them tonight as the Soviets have just iced the puck. Rare move. Face-off in their own end of the ice. 44 seconds left in the third period. And the Islanders now with 6 attackers on the ice. Heard them talking to Gerald Diddick, who was checking at the bench. He and Norton on the points. LaFontaine, Volek, Sutter, and Flatley up front. Omatov is out there for the Soviet Union. It's going to be Bykov to take the face-off. Bykov is the young man who, when in court in Sweden in 1983, told the court that he was a full-time hockey player and the Central Red Army team earned $5,000 a year. And he's always been regarded as an amateur.
Well, we've known that wasn't true since time began.
Yes. Loose puck kicked down into the Islanders zone. LaFontaine after it. Matt LaFontaine works it up the boards to David Volek. 28 seconds remaining as he gave it to Norton. Out to Norton with it again. Omatov moved up to forecheck. The puck goes to the right wing boards. Bykov gets checked. 10 seconds remaining as the Soviets put it into the Islanders zone. Omatov has taken off the puck. It goes loose off Kamensky's stick. And Diddick shoots it down the ice right to Milnikov. And that's going to do it. It's all over. Central Red Army has defeated the New York Islanders by a score of 3-2. So the series between the two touring teams and the National Hockey League teams again is all even. A win, a loss, and 2 ties in the first 4 games. And tomorrow night, Riga will play in Vancouver. And on Saturday, Central Red Army will be at Boston. That's an afternoon game. Bill Smith went right to the dressing room, but now the traditional handshake. Mikko Makela leading the Islanders.
Coaching staff equally. Tikhonov remembers Brian Trottier, obviously, as a player. Now he's had a chance to coach against him. The traditional handshake. Players get to look at each other a little closer in the eyes and appreciate that 3 times now the Islanders and the Soviets have played here at the Coliseum. Winning goal, a beauty. Krutov, Vladimir Krutov, 5'9", 28 years old, born in Moscow. He's a Vancouver pick, the 11th pick in 1986 if they ever get Soviets to play in the NHL.
Gretzky flipped one in front, right through to the net. Pang stopped it. Rebound in behind. Kicked loose to Savard, who has time, and he clears.
Blackhawks have given up 51 power play goals in 167 times shorthanded.
Dave Taylor puts Nichols over the line, but the pass too far for him. Brown to the near side. Savard shot it to center ice. Nichols back to the line. Brown stopped him, rolled it ahead. If Murray touches it, it'll be offside, so he lets it roll down into the LA zone.